Boog, you the man. Thanks, everybody, and welcome. It's a soggy, cold night, 36 degrees in Boise. The snow is about set to fall, and we are ready for championship football. And for the first time, the Mountain West championship game will feature two ranked teams. 25th ranked Fresno State against 22nd ranked Boise State. Two foes that are rather familiar with one another. Fresno State has won the toss and deferred. Boise State will receive. And here come the Broncos. Looking to move it away with Avery Williams. Out past the 30 and a fine start for Boise State. And here comes their four-year starter at quarterback. Brett Rippon leads all active FBS quarterbacks in passing yards. Is that good? That's a rhetorical question. He's 15th in career passing yards. With a big game here tonight in the bowl game, he could crack the top 10. 37 wins. He is second in school history, behind that pesky Kellen Moore name that continues to follow him around. First down and 10 from the 34. In the blue, on the blue, and the handoff is to Alexander Madison, and get used to that. He carries the football all the time. Last week carried it 37 times off handoffs from that man.
Yeah, this is going to be the final game for Brett Rippon in front of this home crowd here on the turf in Boise, and what a career it's been. Obviously an outstanding season this year. Really took over that leadership role for this team. Hard to believe that it was only a year ago he was having to compete for the starting job again. But now this is his football team.
On second down and 10. Here's Rippon to throw for the first time. Wants to air one out on the sideline. Had a man. And just a bit too far for C.T. Thomas. And it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And you mentioned the running back Alexander Madison. There is no running back in college football that has toted the rock more in the month of November than that man right there. And in the last 3 games, he has been over 140 plus each one of those games. There's no question this offense for Boise runs through number 22.
Yeah, Boise, who's known for all the surprise and the trick plays, but now when it comes to handing off the football to Madison, M-A-T-T-I-S-O-N. There's no D in that last name. Here's 3rd down and 10. Here's Rippon. He'll get out of there and scramble. And it looks like he's going to come up just short. The flag comes in late. He went down for the slide to give himself up. And Fresno State came anyway with contact. Juju Hughes was there on the play, along with Aaron Mosby.
Yeah, it looked like Mosby was the one they're going to throw this flag on. Now, they spot this where he starts to go down, and that's a launch there from Mosby. We'll see if they determine that this was a targeting call.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 15. That's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. The previous play is under further review. Kevin
Hassel, our referee, and that's how we start. 56 seconds in tonight.
You know, this is a rivalry game. It has been budding rivalry game. There's been 4 of these games played in a little over a year, and you've got a lot of emotions to start the game. And obviously it's a big 3rd down and it's a tight call. But Mosby, when you come with your head down like that in that posture, that's the posture they're trying to get out of the game, and that's the correct call.
Mosby is a sophomore. As the crowd now gets a look at it on the Jumbotron here at Boise.
And you can see how the reason that hit is dangerous. You saw how Rippon's head bounced off the turf there. That's the reason that they're trying to get that out of the game.
So it's that grease, and it's late too, as Rippon had already given himself up going into the slide.
Yeah, at that point, he's a defenseless player, so any contact in the head or neck area with any body part is going to be a targeting foul. But that just exacerbates it with the crown and that posture.
And we wonder if Mosby is gone after, what, 4 plays from scrimmage.
After reviewing the play, the ruling of targeting is confirmed. It's a 15-yard penalty, and number 15 is disqualified from the game. First down.
Well, that was quick. Aaron Mosby, the sophomore, will be escorted out of the stadium, or off the field anyway, ejected for targeting some 56 seconds in.
And it puts Boise, which was going to have to punt the football now, in a position with a 1st down in plus territory on this opening drive.
the ground. It is Madison. Down to the 40-yard line, and he pushed back, but giving forward progress. Check in with Todd McShay and our Chick-fil-A Impact players.
Well, you guys have already started talking about him. We're going to talk about him all night long. Alexander Madison, the running back spot. Not just a runner, but as a pass catcher, and I think he's as good a back as we've seen all year in pass protection. He's going to be going up against Jeff Allison, number 9, the team leader with 109 tackles for Fresno.
He was the conference's defensive player of the year. Second down and 8. Just beyond the 40. Good protection for Rippon. Now looks to get out of there. And he'll turn into a ball carrier and get a yard or two. He's forced out by Michael Walker. That's like the cherry on top, Grease. When you talk about these great running backs, they seem to be missing one thing, pass protection. And he can do that too, so he's got it all there.
There's no question. And he's 215 pounds, which allows him to step up in the hole and to take on blitzing linebackers. They love him in this situation, 3rd and 7. You see, he's still in the game for that exact reason, for pass protection. And he's a great receiver. So if he doesn't get a blitzing linebacker, they can get the football to him.
Love those 3 down backs. Here's 3rd down and 7 now. From the 39 of Fresno State. Ripping the throw. And he airmails, looking for Sean Modster, well over his head. Jaron Bryant had the coverage.
And a good response from this Fresno State defense. They get the first stop and they get the targeting foul, which gives the first down to Boise. And they're behind the sticks, but they rise up. This is a defense that is the best defense in the Mountain West. And have come in, they stop the run, and they play good defense and get after the quarterback. It'll be a challenge for Boise tonight.
Quinn Skinlon is back to punt it away. From midfield, see if he can pin the Bulldogs deep. Ronnie Rivers, the fair catch at the 8-yard line. It's a 31-yard punt. Marcus McMarion, 3-year player at Oregon State, came over and really bailed out the Bulldogs. He's been so good, 19-4 overall record as a starter. And when you look at his completion percentage, well, let's just say he's a 1/10 of a percentage point behind Kyler Murray of Oklahoma. He's in the top 5. That's good enough.
There's no question. He has been the catalyst for this turnaround for Jeff Ted for back-to-back 10-win seasons. But the missing piece has been to win here on the blue turf against Boise.
They are up against it now. First possession of the game for Fresno State. From their own 8, off the play fake. McMarion to throw and finds Micaiah Quick. He's got first down yardage out to the 21. Tyson Maeva made the stop. Gain of 17 on the play.
You're going to see up-tempo from Fresno State. They want to get this crowd out of the game.
First running play to Ronnie Rivers. He's their top running back. Keikoa Nawahine made the stop. As you see the rain shifting to snow here.
Yeah, this is as tough as it's going to be, I think, all night to throw the football because it's raining and slick.
Second down and 5. They go Wildcat. And it's McMarion carrying the football up the middle. And again, it's Maeva making the stop, his second stop.
So it will be interesting to watch. This is quarter by quarter. We normally don't do this, but it's going to be easier to throw the football when it starts to snow and it's not so much moisture.
On the ground, Rivers trying to spin away. Curtis Weaver makes the stop. Todd.
It'll be interesting to see with Marcus McMarion, a guy who grew up in California, born and raised, has had some ups and downs late in the season in cold weather games. Wyoming last year, here at Boise. So can he handle this weather, especially as you alluded to, Brian, when it's raining early on? Between the cold and the rain makes for a tough ball to throw.
This is the most difficult environment and weather conditions to throw the ball as a quarterback, no question.
If they had a packed house here, it'd be that much tougher for McMarion. He's back to throw. Lofts one down the middle of the field, and it was too far. They got a burner there in Jameer Jordan. Tyler Horton had the coverage, the top cover corner for Boise State.
You know, the disadvantage for Fresno State is this is a predominantly passing attack offensively. They wanted to be a running team early, and their offensive coordinator, Kalen DeBoer, said, listen, we started throwing the ball, we became a passing team, and you can't just flip a switch and run the ball effectively, so they've got to find a way to move the ball in these kind of conditions.
Third down and 9. Rivers the single setback. Boise shifting. Rushing for McMarion underneath, able to complete to Darian Grimm. And it's Maeva again, another tackle in the middle. He's the main man in the middle, getting everybody lined up in that Boise State defense.
Yeah, great job by Maeva. He's just sitting back in a zone drop. There he is right here. He's just going to sit there, and he's eyeing that crosser. Soon as that tight end gets past him, he sees the crosser, knows the down and distance, and makes the sure tackle.
Blake Cusick is back to punt it away from his own 23. Avery Williams back deep for Boise State. Williams will call for the fair catch and nearly muffed it at his own 26. So we've got a targeting and an ejection and no score less than 5 minutes in after that 37-yard punt. All right, Adnan, thanks. I'm sure we'll talk to you a couple hundred times the rest of the night.
Nobody will be questioning that Kirby Smart to fake punt, right?
Oh, it slips out of Rippin's hands. And let's see if it falls harmlessly away. Michael Walker jumped on it just in case.
We just talked about how slippery that ball is and how wet that ball is. The ball definitely comes forward, and his arm is coming forward. The question is, did he have control of this ball while his arm came forward? Boy, that's close.
You can see the rain really coming down.
The ruling on the field is the hand was coming forward, but the ball had come loose prior to the hand coming forward. Therefore, we have a fumble recovered by the defense.
So that Michael Walker play looking like a much bigger deal now.
So that's very well explained there by that head official. The question is now, as we go back and look at it, was the ball out of his hand before the hand starts coming forward? And I think that's absolutely correct. And that is a good call on the field,
yes,
which I think will be, if they look at it in the booth, will be confirmed.
That's a good angle, Grease. You can see the rain really pounding down as well. So it's Walker who creates the pressure and then falls on the football as well.
Yeah, this, as a quarterback,
The play of the fumble is under further review.
As a quarterback, you have to be aware in these situations. You have to do everything you possibly can to protect that football. If you've got to grip it a little bit different, sometimes I would grip the ball tight with my palm against the ball to get more touch and tactile on the football rather than just your fingertips, but you got to be aware of that.
And Brian, remember we asked him about it yesterday, and he said, I have no issues, hands are fine, never had a problem. He grew up in Spokane, Washington. He's used to bad weather, and he said, actually, I'm rooting for the worst weather we can possibly have.
Yeah, you're right, Todd, because as you mentioned, Marcus McMarion hasn't been in these situations a whole lot. So Rippin felt like there was an advantage for them, but certainly goes against them here early.
D. Anderson is our replay official. Again, it's when the ball is coming out of his hand, because clearly his arm is coming forward.
Yeah. The question is, does he have control of the football when his hand is coming forward? And if he loses control of the ball, even though it's still in his hand, if he loses control of it before his hand starts coming forward, then that's a fumble.
You see that football moving, almost like a receiver, a running back fumbling the football when they're hit. You see the movement of the ball. Good job by Walker, too, right? Would have been easy for a defender to give up on that and just think that's an incomplete pass.
The reason I think you can tell that, at least from my opinion, that it's a fumble is how the ball comes out of his hand there. If he had control coming forward, then that ball would have gone further down the field. And when you lose control and it's kind of just slipping out of your hand, then you only get a fingertip on it, and that's when it flutters like that.
Yep.
I got bad memories of that.
Did you ever wear a glove?
No.
You're never a glove guy?
No.
On either hand?
The gloves have gotten a lot better.
Here's a call.
After further review, the ruling on the field of a fumble stands. First down, Fresno State.
And that is an excellent call by, as you mentioned, the officials on the field to the naked eye to pick that up and get that correctly immediately. That's an impressive play. Michael Walker able to jump on it.
That's Kevin Hassel, our official, our head official for tonight. Great opportunity for Fresno State here in the red zone.
First turnover of the game. Goes the way of the Bulldogs. Here's McMarion. How will he handle the precipitation from the Boise State 20? On the ground with Ronnie Rivers trying to push the pile a little bit. He'll pick up 2. Sonutene Looney able to make the stop.
I think one of the differences for Fresno State, for them to get over this hurdle of winning here at Boise, I think McMarion is going to have to keep the ball and use his legs in the red zone effectively tonight to win.
Second down and 8. Rivers again able to get to that second level, and he's down to the 15-yard line. Jabril Frazier, the tackle. 3rd and 5.
Third downs have really been the difference in these last 2 games in this series. There is no question Boise State has been very good on third downs defensively, 12th in the college football and 1st in the Mountain West.
Broncos are bringing some people. It's picked up nicely. McMarion to the corner of the end zone, and it's caught, and it's quick for the score. Marcus McMarion to Micaiah Quick for the touchdown, 15 yards, and the turnover. Bulldogs make Boise State pay.
If you're going to make the quarterback throw in these kind of conditions, make it an easy throw. There's man-to-man coverage on the outside, and this is a corner route, which allows McMarion just to loft this ball, Steve, into the corner. See how you don't have to put a whole lot of zip on it. He just needed to loft it up into the corner and allow the receiver to come down underneath it.
Extra points have been an issue. Not this time for Asa Fuller. Reese, I really want to stay in my lane, but did you see Ronnie Rivers pick up that blitz?
Nice job. I see you picking up that stuff on the field.
There's the turnover, correctly called immediately on the field. And the fumble by Rippon is turning away McMarion to Quick scoring play. Touchdown. Bulldogs lead.
The Mountain West Football Championship is presented on ESPN by Hampton by Hilton. For the best price guaranteed, book at Hampton.com. And in part by Taco Bell's Rolled Chicken Tacos.
Mountain West only started playing their championship game in 2013. Fresno State won the inaugural game in 2013. They've appeared 4 times in the game. Boise has appeared 3 times. Of course, 3 times they've played each other, and all 3 games have been here. Seems rather unfair. The previous 2 won by the home team. Killian Butler is going to run it out. And he is upended, and the football comes out. Mike Bell able to knock it out, but it is recovered by the Broncos, and they will maintain possession.
Well, you would think that of the 2 teams, who would be better prepared to handle this rain and this cold? It would be Boise State, but they're the ones that have put the ball on the ground, Steve.
Not those kids from California.
Boise needs to get their composure here, and the guy to do it is Brett Rippon, the 4-year starter at quarterback.
Put down to 10 from the 25. Madison is the setback. Fake it to him, and the quick throw to A.J. Richardson. Goes incomplete. It'll be second down and 10. So, you know, in the NFC West, Reese, they only play twice a year. In the Mountain West, they have to play 4 times a year. This is the 4th game in the last 371 days. These 2 squads getting together. You know, Boise's known for their tricks. Right. Fresno State's not going to be fooled. I mean, they just know each other so well.
They do. This game isn't going to be won on a trick play. It's going to be won in the trenches. I think for Fresno to win, they have to contain Alexander Madison. And as we've seen, the elements are definitely going to factor in to the outcome.
C.T. Thomas securing that football. Jaron Bryant able to force him out.
But you're right, you know, these two teams, this is a budding rivalry. For a lot of people around the country that are tuning into this championship game, this is a budding rivalry in the Mountain West. And with two outstanding coaches, Jeff Tedford and the job that he's done, 1-11 2 years ago and back-to-back 10-win seasons. This is a legitimate defense that Boise's going to go against tonight.
Able to get the first down, move the sticks. Here's Madison on the ground, and he'll pick up 3. And you'll forgive me if I don't mention on every play, he's the Mountain West Conference first-team player or second-team player. I mean, every single guy on the field is on the first or second team. These are clearly the two top teams in this conference and deservedly playing in the championship game here tonight.
And I think Madison is the best player in the Mountain West. And you see, he came off the field there after that last run, holding his wrist. Talking with Brian Harsin, their coaching staff, they want to target 30 to 35 carries for Madison, which you don't normally hear that with coaches. You say, we want to get them as many touches as we can, but to target that many, that's a lot of touches.
Robert Mahone is checked in, and Madison a bit of a break there. Sean Monster, their leading receiver, makes the catch. He is, by the way, second team All Mountain West Conference. Juju Hughes made the stop. It's a gain of 11. They'll move the sticks again. Garrett Larson has out the starting center. Dante Harrington has replaced him. We'll watch for that.
That's an area of this Boise State team, I think, that can be attacked by Fresno. The interior of this offensive line. They have not been as strong as they have been in years past.
So Mahone there's got his hands in the air as if he didn't know where to stand. He had the palms skyward, and they throw the football to him anyway. He's across midfield. Michael Walker made the stop along with Jeff Allison.
Let's go back and take a look at the hit on Alexander Madison. We mentioned his wrist. Came off holding that. Looked like the middle linebacker, Jeff Allison, got a helmet right on the wrist. Keep an eye on him on the sideline. They're looking at shoulders there. He's pushing down on the arms. That's testing the strength. Making sure there's not something wrong with him.
Larson is back in at center for the Broncos. Andrew Van Buren is checked in, the true freshman at running back. They fake it to him, and the quick throw out to A.J. Richardson. He's going to be short of the marker. Michael Walker made the stop.
Steve, I don't think it's any coincidence that when Madison went on the sideline, 3 plays immediately after are little bubble screens. They don't feel like they have a good enough backup. Van Buren is a true freshman. But their running game may turn into these kinds of quick throws to the outside.
3 tight ends in on 3rd down and 1. And it's Rippon. He's got the first down.
Smart play there. Sometimes they give Rippon the option, if he sees that just in short yardage situations, to come off the ball and sneak to get the first down, rather than risking a exchange with a true freshman in the rain.
From the 40. Chase Blakely, the tight end, in motion. Off the play fake. Rippon will get out of there, has some running room if he wants it, and now we'll just... I guess he was throwing it away. Monster was in the neighborhood. So too was Jaron Bryant.
Nice pursuit there too by the linebacker James Bailey and Michael Walker. You see Bailey was coming off, almost got the sack. You watch the effort for Bailey to get back up and get into this play. Really nice job. Rippon hurt Fresno State in the last game, especially with his legs on 3rd down situations. Fresno has to make that adjustment in this game and keep him from hurting him on the ground.
Alexander Madison is checked back in. Bates and Blakely in there as well at tight end. It is Madison. Wow, he is met head on at the 40 by Jeff Allison. Only the second effort able to get a few yards. Now a lot of flags come flying in. I got 3 pieces of dirty laundry on the field. Look at this hit at the point of attack. Jeff Allison, wow.
And I saw what happened. It happened right after the play. Tank Kelly, number 6, punched the tight end, number 16, John Hightower. They were going back and forth.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 6. That's a 15-yard penalty and results in an automatic first down. This is also number 6's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game, as it results in disqualification.
The eyes of Todd McShay on the spot. Tank Kelly getting flagged. Jeff Allison's big hit was legal. Tank Kelly's hit wasn't.
Here's Kelly and Hightower. They're just going back and forth, and Kelly felt like that was a late after the whistle blocking him and slaps him on the back of the head, and that's just a lack of focus.
Pick up the 15 yards on first down and 10. Here's Rippon thinking about turning the corner. He'll just get back to the line of scrimmage. Mike Bell came up from his safety spot. Bell might be the most NFL-ready player on that Fresno State defense.
Yeah, he's got the size, 6'3", 203 pounds, and I'm really looking forward to the matchup with Bell on the perimeter tackling against Madison in the open field, because Madison has made a lot of Mountain West defenders look silly. He'll run you over, and then he'll jump over top of you as well, but Mike Bell, when those two meet up, it should be fireworks.
Levy's an NFL scout now too, huh?
Yes, he doesn't need us, Todd.
I got him in the second round of the Jets, McShay. Quick throw out to Richardson. Oh, look at that. Forearm shiver, and able to get some extra yards. He's just pushing Juju Hughes around for some extra yardage.
Fresno State was able to get the stop on the first drive. For no points for Boise. We'll see if they're able to do it again here in this third down situation. See, they're one of the best defenses in the country in these situations.
Rippon sidesteps some pressure, run up the middle, and now slide down, but he definitely has first down yardage. George Helmuth able to get him down after a gain of 6.
I'll give some credit to Madison as well. He's right here, and he has the middle linebacker. He just gets enough of him right there, Steve. I think Helmuth could have gotten to the quarterback there, a little more aggressive rush against Madison.
That red zone defense you're talking about for Fresno, Grease, #1 in the nation, which is significant. On first down and 10 now. Madison running angrily, like downhill for a couple. Patrick Bellany makes his first stop.
Well, and we also mentioned the feet of Brett Rippon, and again, he's able to hurt Fresno State on a third down situation, getting that first down with his feet. Now this situation, if I'm Boise State offensively, I might take a shot to the end zone, knowing that it's going to be tough in these situations to run the football. Only 8 touchdowns rushing allowed by Fresno State all season. That's tied for first with Alabama.
Drive started from their own 25. Here's play number 14. Give it to the first man through. That is Madison. And it'll bring up a third down. So Rippon's a mobile quarterback, Grease, or he's not? Like I keep hearing he's not really a running quarterback, but when you need 6, he can get that for you.
Yeah, no, I would not qualify him as a mobile quarterback. I qualify him as a smart quarterback. When he sees a lane, he'll take it. Knowing the down and distance, I don't think he's going to make a living converting 3rd and 11s with his feet. But he knows when it's 3rd and 7 or less, and I get a 2-man situation, or I see a crease that he's got just enough to hurt you.
3rd down and 9. They can get a first down. Got all sorts of time now. Rippon will throw, and it nearly intercepted and nearly caught. He did! It's Sean Monster went through the hands of Jaron Bryant. And if Monster kept a foot in, that would be something.
I'm standing right here, Levy. I mean, honestly, 3-4 yards away. If that's not called a catch, I'll be really surprised. It was shocking. The ball slipped through the defender's hands, and he just happened to be right in that spot.
Wow. Yeah, Todd, it looked like the right toe of Monster.
And you can see the mark on the actual orange turf, too.
You know what's crazy, Todd? His right foot would look like it may have been out of bounds, and then he picked it back up and brought it back inbounds. The question is, did he go out of bounds, then come back in? That would make him ineligible to catch that ball. I think they need to take a look at that.
There's a lot to unpack there. And the sickest guy on the field has to be Bryant, who allows an interception to go right through his hands. That looked like an easy pick.
Well, just like it's difficult for quarterbacks, right? It's difficult for receivers. It's difficult for defensive backs to make plays, especially, you know, they don't touch the ball a whole lot, and that ball comes through and it's slick. Looks like they're good to go, and they're not going to review this. Must have kept that toe in bounds the entire time.
What a job by Sean Modster, fifth-year senior player. Extra point. On the way, and it is good. Haden Hoggarth puts it through. 15 plays, 75 yards. Boise State takes over 7 minutes off the first quarter clock.
Great control by Modster. Yeah, he kept that toe in bounds and great concentration.
I see orange there, Grease. What a play. Concentration and the toe tap in a 7-7 championship game. Back in Boise, where it's snowing up here, and yet, McShay, is it snowing down there?
Still rain, buddy. Pouring rain.
Hey, Al Roker, how is that possible? It could be snowing up here and raining down there.
It's called elevation.
Oh, I see. That's how that works. Short kick. Muffed around and recovered out to the 25. Here's Haden Hoggarth.
Pat Smith comes up with the ball for Fresno State on the 25-yard line. And Fresno State will have the ball. First and 10. 1:53 to go in the fourth.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Matt Smith, the backup center, able to recover that short kick. That's why they start at the 25 on first down and 10. Handoff to Ronnie Rivers. Squirts through for a yard. Curtis Weaver made the tackle.
Go back and take another look at that touchdown from Modster. Great control of his feet. See clearly he's in bounds there. But the concentration to be that close to the end line and then to get that deflection and concentrate in the rain to make that's an outstanding play by Modster.
Flags come in. Yeah, it's definitely two different skills there.
Yeah.
The concentration level too. In a 7-7 game.
False start. Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Logan Hughes, the senior from Las Vegas.
We've talked a lot about Alexander Madison, the best player offensively for Boise, but the best player offensively for Fresno is Keyshawn Johnson, the receiver, who has had an outstanding season. He needs to be a part of this game plan. You see, he's got more catches than any player in Fresno State history.
And they have not targeted him yet tonight. From their own 21. Handed it off to a receiver. Micaiah quick. Nothing doing. Curtis Weaver comes up with his second stop. It's a tackle for loss.
Great job by Curtis Weaver. He's made back-to-back plays. First team all-conference for Boise defensively, and he is impacting this football game.
The only thing Weaver doesn't like about Boise is there's no Filipino restaurant in town. Said his mom, when she comes, got to do all the cooking. Third down at 17 as we hit the final minute of quarter number 1. 7-7 in the Mountain West championship game. There's McMarion. He'll take the easy one underneath to Jared Rice, the tight end. Out of the 25, Avery Williams made the stop. Their most consistent tight end. Todd?
Oh, we were talking about Keyshawn Johnson earlier. They've got to get him involved. I mean, he's a player, in my opinion, is the highest rated draft prospect in this entire game. He's 6'2", 200 pounds, big physical receiver who really does a good job of boxing out and getting late separation with that size.
In case you were wondering, there's no relation. Keyshawn is spelled differently. And just as soon as Blake Cusick gets the football to punt it away, a couple flags fly. We'll check it out with 11 seconds left in the quarter.
How often do you think Keyshawn's dad, Sean, gets that conversation, right?
On a regular basis.
False start. Offense, number 34. 5-yard penalty. Remains fourth down.
Well, Keyshawn's been a great story. His dad, as we mentioned, his mom, Monique. He grew up in East Palo Alto, not the easiest place in the world to grow up in. And his brother was a receiver as well, and Really a great family.
Got some pressure on Cusick that time. Williams will let it bounce, and what a Fresno State bounce it takes. It might have been a 20-yard bounce, and Williams trying to make something out of nothing. Avery Williams. Wow, what an effort from start to finish. Bryant brought him down on the special teams tackle.
Great job by Jerron Bryant, Steve. He's the one that let the ball go through his hands for the touchdown. And as you mentioned, great effort by Williams. And if Bryant doesn't make this play, it's a touchdown.
It's a 48-yard punt, but an exciting return. That's the quarter.
Welcome back to Dr. Pepper Championship Week.
Welcome back to the 2018 Mountain West Championship game presented by Hampton, by Hilton. See the Capitol in the backdrop. See the mountains. They got a lot in the backdrop here in Boise. We're back on the blue surface. Little quick pitch to C.T. Thomas. Trying to turn the end. Is able to pick up 5. So we open up quarter number 2. Some former Broncos in the house tonight being recognized.
Big names. Leighton Vander Esch there.
Yeah. Jay Ajayi is here.
Ajayi, yeah, he's the one with the skull cap there. Ced Wilson, the former receiver here. They've turned out a lot of really good players.
Especially the running back position. Speaking of which, Alexander Madison. He can do that for you. Taking on Juju Hughes. Gain of 13. That's the B button we were talking about.
He has done this the last couple of games. Like the last month of the season, he's tried to hurdle guys, and clearly Juju was ready for it. That was a little premature. He tried to go from the free throw line there.
Yeah.
Juju still takes a knee to the face.
Right. If you don't do that well, you get a cleat in the stomach too. On the ground, Madison turns the corner. Has some good blocking down the sideline. There is a flag down. Hughes forced him out of bounds. Gain of 15.
Holding. Offense, number 81. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. Still first down.
Killian Butler. You want your wide receivers blocking downfield for you, but you don't want them holding. And there's an injured player down.
That's just Shad Haynes, the defensive tackle.
All right, Adnan, thank you. Adnan had his highest rated podcast this past week. Had an unbelievable guest list on it. People should check that out, wherever they check out their podcasts.
Who was on it?
I made a small appearance.
Oh, come on. You're so self-serving.
First down at 12. I'm serving Adnan. What do you mean? And I'm serving the public. Madison is wrestled down by Jeff Allison. Speaking of Madison, that's not the first time he's tried to hurdle an opponent. This was last week against Utah State. See you later. That was the classic hurdle. And sometimes, Grease, you got to hurdle over your own guys, too.
Yeah, maybe he ran the hurdles in high school. Who knows? But, at 211 pounds, to get up that high, now that one wasn't as successful. No. That's an amazing athlete.
Ripping to throw. Able to complete to Chase Blakely, the tight end. His first catch. Mike Bell made the stop. Madison's well behind his pace. Grease has only carried the ball 9 times so far tonight.
Well, coming into tonight, he had carried the ball 262 times on the season, and he took it to heart in the offseason. Wanted to get in the best shape possible to take the pounding. He knew his team was going to be relying on him, and he's done everything he possibly can with his diet, nutrition, working out to get ready for this season. And I think this may be the last time this crowd here in Boise sees him play for the Broncos.
3rd down and 10. Here's Rippon. Bulldogs rushing 4. The Broncos trying for the big play. And let's see. Monster. Of course he got his foot in. Working on Matt Boating.
Monster has been the most valuable player on offense so far in this game just because he's handled the elements. He's catching the football, concentrating on the point, and getting his feet down. He's made 2 huge plays.
Those cheerleaders are good too. They're smiling through the elements. Not easy out there for any of the personnel. There's Madison. Helmuth makes the stop.
Touchdown catch from Monster. He came into this game leading receiver for this Boise State team. He's not a burner. He's not going to beat you down the field, but he is a possession-type receiver with good hands.
2nd down and 5. And the flag flies. Let's check it.
Illegal snap. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That's Larson, the center. What's an illegal snap?
That's when you simulate a snap, so you'll move that ball just a little bit to get the defensive line to jump.
We had disconcerting signals last week for the first time.
That was disconcerting to us. Elvis is in the building. It's good.
He's always in the building. 2nd down and 10. Some late pressure. Rippon will throw out an unbelievable play. A.J. Richardson is stopped by James Bailey. That's 7 on 7. And that, you talk about Monster and Richardson. They had Thomas Spurback here. They had Cedric Wilson. They're wondering where the next great wide receiver is going to be. And it's really been wide receiver by committee. You said they don't have the game break or the burn.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's been good for Brett Rippon. We talked about that with him last night. He said, I kind of locked in on guys like Ced Wilson. And why wouldn't you? But he's had to be a more complete quarterback. He's had to spread the ball around, and it's been good for his development.
3rd down and 12. They come out empty, and Rippon overthrows Madison out of the backfield. It's going to be a 4th down and 12.
I got to be honest, just watching, Boise and the way they're operating offensively right now. In these kind of conditions, these are the most difficult throws. You see how that ball comes out? I mean, that's not Brett Rippon how he normally throws the ball. But these perimeter throws with very little room for error, those are some of the most difficult throws in this environment. Why do you keep calling those plays?
That's not on the quarterback. That's on the play caller. Quinn Skillen. Kick it away. And that will go for a touchback. 11:16 to go after a 36-yard punt. And a whole lot less net than that. Braving the elements, Boise.
The Mountain West Football Championship, brought to you by Mazda. Feel alive. And Hulu. Watch your football games live all season long on your favorite channels. No cable required.
Former Bronco greats in the house tonight, including Leighton Vander Esch. You saw him down on the field. Greasy's like, guy doesn't even have a jacket on. He's braving the elements. And he was a Broncos star, and now he's a star for the Dallas Cowboys. How's it going? Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's going great. Feels good to be back and watching the guys again.
He said he's never played in a snow game. You'd like to be out there, right?
Yeah, I think it'd be blast being out there right now. There's not much on the field right now, but I think by the end of the game, it'll be pretty covered. So these guys got to weather the storm and get it done.
Jason Garrett might have an issue with that, though. You going out there and playing right now. Here's McMarion going to take off. Marcus McMarion. And he'll take a shot from Ezekiel Noah. You're obviously a big part of this rivalry. You've lived through this. What do the people nationally need to know about the Boise State-Fresno State rivalry?
I mean, it goes way back. My freshman year, my redshirt year, when we were here, we played them in the Mountain West Championship here too, as well. So that was big. And then obviously last year we played them here as well for the championship, and we had just played them the game before that. So yeah, it goes back.
Hulk at the ball carrier, Louis the stop.
So Leighton, we went back and found a couple of pictures, from your time here. What's different about these pictures? A little more room on the picture on the left in the collar.
Yeah, I guess that's what doing a little bit of weightlifting will do to you.
Was that the same shirt or not?
It should be the same one. I just had a whole stack of them there, so you just walk in there and pull it on.
A couple years later, sure. 3rd down and 1. That's Holkett behind McMarion. And a false start. Let's see who jumped.
False start. Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
You know, there are all these great stats that the Boise State opponents, 20 false starts, more than any stadium in the country. And so how much of that is the crowd here, do you think, and how much of that blue turf, and what's myth and what's truth?
Oh, yeah. I think we got one of the best fan bases in the nation on every single level. Bronco fans, Boise, it's like nothing else. Everybody brings their all. I'd like to see a few more here tonight, but everybody's here. It's loud, and they're getting them going.
3rd down and 6 in a 7-all game for the Mountain West Championship. McMarion to throw and able to complete. Micaiah quick, and the football comes out. And it's recovered by Avery Williams. And the turnover goes the other way.
Not only was it recovered by Avery Williams, but he was the one that ripped it out. Tremendous play by Williams, knowing that he's got other guys there to make the play, and he has the opportunity to come rip that out. They teach that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that kid's one of the best at it, too. He practices that every single day in practice. You see him go after the ball. I mean, he's a ball hawk. He'll get it in the air, and he'll make you cough it up. So, absolutely love that kid. He's an absolute baller. Wish could have played one more year with him, but things worked out.
We talked to Brian Harsin about you potentially coming back for one more year. As Madison is the ball carrier, and he said to you that, he said, you know, what else are you going to do here? Is that kind of how the conversation went, and then that's when you took off for the NFL?
Yeah, well, I talked to him on the phone, and he was like, the statement that really kind of, or the question that really got, he's like, well, what's stopping you? And then I didn't really have an answer for him. And he was like, well, you got your answer there. He's like, go do it, dude. And so now that was that. So just kind of took it from there.
I feel ridiculous asking you about what the adjustment has been like. C.T. Thomas down the sideline for a big play. And here come the Broncos. I mean, the adjustment, it looks easy, man. You got 100 tackles, you're leading the Cowboys. The Cowboys defense is great. What about it for you?
Oh, man, it's been an awesome year so far. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more. I mean, the guys playing on that defense, we're a young group, but we like flying around the field and making plays and having fun with each other, just playing football. So, and Jalen playing next to him and just playing fast.
That is very noticeable. Watching on TV, that Cowboys defense, and the improvement you've made, another flag flies.
So we were talking with the defensive coordinator, Andy Avalos.
False start.
He said
he number 85.
He nicknamed you the Giraffe.
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Do you have a nickname now at the Cowboys?
The Wolf Hunter's kind of taken off. That was my draft name, draft nickname. Yeah, in the whole process with them. Coach Richard gave me that nickname because I showed him some pictures of hunting wolves back a couple years ago, and he just kind of took it from there. And I mean, it just took off. Fans love it.
What was your welcome to the NFL moment? What was like your aha, I'm in the NFL now? What was that like?
It was probably the first OTA practice that we had on the field, just running around and realizing how much quicker the offensive line was. But really, that's really been the only thing. But adjusting that's been a pretty easy process so far. Once that happened and once I got a feel for that after a couple days, then it was just like, all right, it's time to go. It's not much different.
Redskins and Eagles are going to play on Monday Night Football. Who are you liking that game?
Oh, wow. I mean, they both got their weapons. I mean, I think
I'm just kidding, man. NFC East. I was trying to put you on the spot. You know.
Yeah, you did a good job of that.
Hey, Van Pelt the other night, you're joining us here at the booth. We all appreciate it. Continued success. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, good luck, man. Stay healthy.
Leighton Vander Esch left Boise State early, you could say, or left right on time. Leading that Cowboys defense and tackles. It'll be hard-pressed for Sean Lee to get that job back in Dallas. 3rd down and 12 now. From the 27. Good protection, now it breaks down. Rippon hangs in there and throws and completes. A.J. Richardson was walloped by Jeff Allison, among others, and able to hang on to the ball. Wow.
Jeff Allison came to play tonight. He is walloping people. Hear that in real speed. He had a huge collision with Madison earlier in the game, and now Richardson bears the brunt. Brings up a 4th down decision for Brian Harsin.
In these conditions, Hey, kicking has been an issue. We touched on it for Boise State, but maybe more than the kicking has been the snapping issue.
Correct.
So that will come into play with any decision making. And a decision will be made when we come back for 4th and 3 in a 7-7 championship game. They were going for it on 4th and 3. There was no timeout when we went to break. You didn't miss anything. And now, in fact, there is a timeout call. We'll take this one with them, I promise. You can check out our alternate angle Xfinity Skycam coverage of the game, streaming live on the ESPN app and on Xfinity X1. Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, Todd McShay from Boise, Idaho. All part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week. This is 4th down and 3 at the 18 of Fresno State. Sure looks like Boise State is going for it. And let's see if Blakely jumped.
Ball start. Offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Out of the timeout.
Yeah, and it was clearly a hard count, and I agree with coming with a hard count, trying to get a free 1st down. They got a couple of Fresno players to jump on the opposite side, but unfortunately for Brian Harsin, Blakely as well.
That's not even close.
They're still going to go for it here. This is just telling you how much they do not trust their snap, hold, execution on the field goal.
Especially in these elements, that has to play a role. So from 4th and 3 to 4th and 8, push back to the 23 now. Fresno State only rushing 3, and they still get pressure on Rippon. Gets out of there. Throws as he's hit, and it is dropped. Butler could not haul it in and out of his hands, and it goes as a turnover on downs. He was all alone in the end zone.
It's a great job by Rippon of extending this play, buying some time, knowing that it's 4th down and not trying to just eat the football, taking a shot down the field. He throws this ball and gives an opportunity, but Butler just not able to come down with the football.
Butler goes 5'10", 192 pounds. He is everybody's favorite teammate. His mates would have loved to see him score, not only to give him the lead in the championship game, but to get him another touchdown. It stays 7-all, and Fresno State will take over. And on 1st down, it's Josh Hoken. He's stopped by Ezekiel Noah. Hoken is an interesting story. He goes 6'1", 220 when he's playing football. When he's wrestling, he's able to drop down to 197. Former state champ in high school as a wrestler. First offer was as a wrestler. Here's Jared Rice making some people miss. He's out to the 38-yard line.
They're going to need Hoken because they're playing without Jordan Mims, the sophomore who has 113 rushes on the season. Obviously, we've seen Ronnie Rivers already in this game, but Hoken needs to take some of the pressure off of Rivers.
And he will right here. Runs right into the line, and he is dumped. Maeva actually picked his legs up and dropped him down. Hoken came over. He was originally offered a scholarship to wrestle at Drexel, and then he decided to walk on. He's the only two-sport athlete on Fresno State. 2nd down and 10. Have they still not targeted Keyshawn Johnson? Is that possible? That's what the numbers say. They have not looked in Johnson's direction. Maybe now. Looking for the flag. And there is a flag down. Avery Williams had the coverage, but he is the go-to player. We told you about the familiarity between these two teams. So obviously Boise State is all over Johnson.
There's no question you want to target him. The problem is the elements are preventing it. And
pass interference. Defense, number 26. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. It results in an automatic 1st down.
See, Noah got the shot on McMarion after he released.
But you can see the value in targeting him because you could potentially get that pass interference. That ball had no chance of being completed. And right now, if you're Boise State, why not play man-to-man coverage and attack McMarion because he's having a hard time being accurate throwing the ball down the field.
Williams again matched up with Johnson. We'll watch for that. That's Grimm in motion. McMarion will throw that way, able to complete to Grimm. Needs a little shake and bake, makes a move, and has first down yardage. Darion Grimm, the junior from Stockton, and it's a gain of 12.
A guy like Darion Grimm, everybody wants to talk about Keyshawn Johnson, but Grimm is a playmaker. He's very sure-handed. He's stocky. He's not the tallest, still 6'1", but he's 195 pounds and can break tackles.
On the ground, it's Rivers, the ball carrier. We were wondering about the Boise State uniforms. You know, they're not Oregon, but they like many different combinations. People get upset they wear the blue, all blue on the blue turf, and someone joked, hey, they could wear the all white if it starts snowing. Imagine all white uniforms for the home team here in the snow.
Gonna make that change at halftime.
Think the Mountain West will go for that?
Timeout. Fresno State. This is their first charge timeout of the half.
Bulldogs will spend a timeout. We're 7-all, 5 minutes left in a snowy first half. This season, Taco Bell is celebrating student sections and passionate fans, like all these fans here, by awarding the best student section of the year. Go to the ESPN.com/Taco Bell to find out if your team made this week's rankings, see how your school can compete. And a good job by those fans here in attendance tonight here in Boise.
These are the diehards here tonight. It was raining earlier, so now they're all wet, and now they're getting the snow down on top of them. We had a quick Zamboni come out here and do the lines, and we're all ready to go.
Yeah, or 4 guys with a broom. 2nd and 6, under 5 to play here in the half. On the ground, Ronnie Rivers for first down yardage.
Nice cut from Ronnie Rivers there. Just a great vision by him. You know, they were really excited about him in the spring. He got hurt in the spring, and now he's back to full health.
Less players behind him. No Jordan Mims. Had foot surgery yesterday, so he's out of the lineup and done for the season. Here's McMarion. Delaying long enough to get it to Grimm. Able to slip one tackler, and then he is tripped up. Talk about the crowds, and even Van Der Esch said, hey, he would hope more people would have come out here tonight. And look, there's no way to get around it. Boise State has to be disappointed by the crowd here tonight. The conference certainly has to be disappointed as well. They said they'll have between 22 and 24,000. Boise State does lead the conference in average attendance. They were nearly full a week ago. They were nearly full 3 weeks ago when Fresno State was last year. But these conference games, no neutral site, these conference games have been tough to fill up.
You would think at home that they would be able to fill it up.
Here's McMarion, again delaying, finally able to get rid of it to Jared Rice. And we'll check the down and distance now.
But this place has been one of the greatest home field advantages in the Mountain West Conference historically, and it gets loud. It was loud here a week ago against Utah State. They had 35,000 a month ago when they hosted Fresno, and tonight it looks like they're a little bit down.
Brian Harsin said it was the vintage Boise State crowd a week ago when they needed that game against Utah State to ensure this home game. 3rd and 14. McMarion cocks and fires and through the hands of Keyshawn Johnson. Tyler Horton was there to make sure there was no catch. Second time targeting Johnson tonight.
Something going on there with Keyshawn Johnson. I thought that ball was well thrown, especially considering the conditions, but he's throwing the skinny post, and it looked like Keyshawn Johnson couldn't pick the football up, and it hit him in the chest before he even put his hands up.
So on 4th and 14, Asa Fuller, the freshman kicker, will attempt a 44-yard field goal. Just 11 of 19 on the season. In the snow, Fuller able to boot it through. And a significant kick for the redshirt freshman, who has really struggled. No problem there. From 44 yards away in a snow globe to give Fresno State a 3-point lead as we approach halftime. This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, All-State will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. And for that, all of us, thank you, All-State. I mean, every kick's going to be an adventure.
Every
hey, by the way, if we were indoors, the kicks here would be an adventure. But when you put into play the elements here tonight, the extra points have been an issue all season long. The significant kick gives Fresno State the 10-7 lead. And that kick goes out of bounds. So Asa Fuller, after just kicking the 44-yard field goal, kicks it out of bounds. And let's send it back to Adnan. Got it, Adnan. Thank you. Yeah, we should point out, I mean, the entire press box watching the UCF game with anticipation all afternoon. Both of these teams, you know, there are some transistor radios probably in those locker rooms. They get ready. Everybody in this place rooting against UCF for a chance to go to a New Year's Six bowl game. Now it looks like the winner of this game will have a trip to Las Vegas, which is still, I would say, pretally good.
Yeah, I was interested talking with Pat Hill before the game, the former Fresno State head coach, and I asked him, you know, hypothetically, if UCF were to lose that game, would this be the biggest game in Fresno State history? And he said, without a doubt, because they would be planning to go to the Fiesta Bowl. That didn't work out for them, but certainly if they were to come to Boise and win for the first time on the blue turf, I think you could qualify as a huge win.
Here's Madison able to get some traction. Takes on Mike Bell and has first down yardage. Madison flying through the air.
That's what I was looking for. That's the matchup I wanted to see. Bell on Madison. Two of the best players in this conference going at it tonight. And you could see both of them not worried about backing down.
2.5 to play in the half. Madison again. Will run over some people, be brought down by 3 Bulldogs. Maybe starting to grind it and wear down some of those defenders.
It's already his 16th carry leaves, and it's still the first half. And you got to wonder, part of his success, a big part of it, has been that he wears defenses down. Such a physical presence, and Fresno State giving up back-to-back inside runs.
And they've had some great backs here. Jaron McMichaels, Jay Ajayi, Doug Martin.
Timeout, Fresno State. This is their second charge timeout of the half. This is a 30-second timeout, 30 seconds in length.
Fresno State has 1 timeout left, so Madison appears to be the next in those long line of terrific running backs at Boise. Todd.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it all week. I think Madison, the versatility is what jumps out to me. From being able to catch the football, 27 catches this year, the pass protection, he's as good as you're going to find in all of the country. It really is, and that's so important in terms of getting on the field. And then his run skill. The skill set really to me is contact balance, vision, patience. He just creates yards on his own, whether it's with power or just being a smart runner. So I think he's got a chance in a class that's not loaded with running backs to probably work his way maybe even into the second day of the draft, talking second, third round range.
Tonight's unexpected outcome is brought to you by ExxonMobil. We're not loaded at running back, Todd. I know we're not loaded at quarterback. Where are we loaded in this upcoming draft?
Defensive line.
Todd, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to me to see, because he's going to get his grade back, right?
Yep.
And if in your estimation, it won't be a first-round grade, so he'll have a decision to make. But as a running back, especially with the wear and tear, right?
It's the only position that I recommend guys come out as juniors. I really do, if they're anywhere close to where they want to be.
Here's Rippon taking a shot down the field, looking for Hightower, and Bryant able to knock it away.
You know, Jerron Bryant gave up that touchdown pass, went right through his hands, but he has made a couple of nice plays. Give him credit. He has not gone in the tank. He's still battling out there, and both he and Tank Kelly, they're going to need these guys to play tight man-to-man coverage to play the kind of defense they want tonight.
3rd down and 1. Clock becomes a factor. Boise State has 2 timeouts remaining. Going ahead with Rippon for the first down. They will move the chains. Stop the clock momentarily.
They can't be slow here. It's under 2 minutes, as you see. They're back in the huddle. They need to have a little bit more sense of urgency.
Yeah. From up here, Grease, what yard line is that? Don't look at the monitor cheat.
This is the 44.
Oh, of course. Is there a logo at midfield here? As if there is, it is covered up in a big way. Here's Rippon to throw. Cross his body. Down the sideline. No chance for Chase Blakely. Would have been out of bounds anyway. Michael Walker came with the pressure.
It's interesting here what Brian Harsin decides to do, because he proved on the last drive he's not real confident in his snapper, holder, and kicker. They went for it on 4th down, and now in this situation, approaching a minute left in the half on 1st down, they're taking their time here. If it were me, I'd be a little bit more up-tempo in the 2-minute drill, throwing the football, trying to get this ball in the end zone before half.
You see the field goal target line. Rippon going to be swallowed up and taken down. It's Michael Walker, the redshirt junior, the former walk-on. Walk-on to first-team all-conference this year.
Steve, they moved him from the outside defensive end inside the linebacker because they like the matchup on the guard. The guards are a little bit bigger and not as quick as tackles, so sometimes you take an outside linebacker or edge rusher, put him inside like Michael Walker did just there to get to the quarterback.
And Walker, I thought, gave him a lot of trouble in the first matchup earlier this year. You could see moving him around, as you mentioned, Grease, is just helping him.
Lost 7. Just 3rd and 19 now. Rippon put some mustard into that one and airmails that.
Not a good series there for Boise State offensively.
Yes.
They look confused. They didn't look like they had the right tempo. They look like they just want to get into halftime and warm up.
And you would understand that if maybe that was Fresno State, but that's not the case. The home team having some issues dealing with the elements and dealing with that Bulldogs defense led by Jeff Allison and Michael Walker. And now a punt scenario with Skillen back there.
Jeff Tedford running out there to tell his returner, don't even try to field this, just let it bounce. Smart.
See how the Bulldogs will play it, still with 1 timeout left. Ronnie Rivers is back there, but they'll just let it bounce and bounce and bounce. I think that's the 8-yard line. It's right around the 8. It's a 43-yard punt. Well, tomorrow we'll have the exclusive reveal of the college football playoff semifinal matchups. Reese and the guys will also unveil the other big bowl games. The final top 25 rankings all starts at noon Eastern on ESPN. You can stream that show at every ESPN show with the ESPN app. So start your free trial of ESPN Plus today. And Todd McShay somehow will make it from Boise into the studio to break down the bowls tomorrow night.
I think that was a collective breath of release from Grapevine, Texas, when the Alabama-Georgia game ended. Right? If that game had ended differently, that committee had their hands
so it made their jobs a little easier. It makes tomorrow night's show a little less dramatic. Zeros on the clock. Halftime of the Mountain West Championship game. Fresno State leading Boise State 10-7. Send you back to Adnan, Joey, Jesse.
Welcome back to Dr. Pepper Championship Week.
Welcome back to the 2018 Mountain West Championship game, presented by Hampton, by Hilton, as we get you set for 3rd quarter action. First time ever this championship game has been with a couple of top 25 teams, and Fresno State by a field goal over Boise State. And it's going to snow. It's 34 degrees now. Going to snow throughout the second half.
What other way would you rather end the night? You know, on championship weekend?
The cold never bothered me anyway. Steve Lee with Brian Greasy. Todd McShay is dealing with the elements down there. We thought it would be close.
Yep.
I mean, these two teams know each other. This was kind of a pick-em game anyway. Just thought we'd see some more points.
This is going to be a great second half. I mean, Fresno has never won on the blue turf.
Yes.
Okay, and they're 30 minutes away, a 3-point lead from realizing what they have never been able to do. It's all right there for them. They just got to go out and execute.
And just the eye test, or my eyes anyway, Fresno State looks like the better football team. It's not just a field goal game just by watching the way Boise State has played offensively.
There's no question. They outplayed them in the first half. And certainly turnovers are going to be a factor. They will continue to be a factor. The kicking game, I think, will certainly help decide the outcome of this one.
Right now, a kick is the difference. A 44-yard field goal by Asa Fuller, the redshirt freshman.
The second half.
And the Bulldogs will get the football. Joel Velasquez will kick it away. Second half, we are underway. It's a ground ball. Jameer Jordan will scoop it up. Looks fast, those white uniforms gliding on the snow. Down to Todd McShay in one of the McShay matchups.
Yeah, we talked about it early, Steve. Alexander Madison is such a key part of this offense for Boise State, but the linebackers and especially Jeff Allison have done a tremendous job of eliminating his yards after contact threat. Here you see just quick eye discipline, knowing where to be, and then making the big stick in the hole. If they keep this up in the second half, it's going to be big for Fresno State defensively.
Todd Allison had 14 tackles in this game a month ago, and he's well on his way now.
First down and 10 with the senior from California, Marcus McMarion. And on first down, he will hand off to Ronnie Rivers. Not much doing there. Louis comes in to make the stop, the most musically inclined defender on that Boise State defense. Apparently he can play every kind of instrument. Grease plays the ukulele, can sing a little bit. Karaoke night, he's big.
Well, if the big guy can, he has the pipes.
Right.
That puts him on another level. A lot of guys can play the ukulele, but not many can sing to it, too.
Next level. Don't need those Gen stats either for that next level. Second down and 8. Rivers make a couple people miss and pick up a few more. It'll be about a third down and 5. Let's do the snow thing, Grease. The guy at home, he loves the snow game. If you're on the couch tonight watching, you love the snow game. And the player's perspective is?
I think the big guys love it.
Okay.
The skill guys don't. Anybody that has to touch the football, they're not big fans.
Well, Van Der Esch was up here. He said he would have loved to play in this game. Never got a real snow game in his career. Marcus McMarion taking off, showing the wheels, and he's inside the Boise State 30.
Talk about the big guys loving to play in the snow. This is one of the biggest guys on the field. The right guard, Micah St. Andrews, pulling around, fleet foot, getting on the second level, and that's what gets McMarion into the secondary.
29 yards on the gallop from Marcus McMarion. The Bulldogs are in business. It's Rivers trying to get to the edge and cannot. Pumped out in a big way by Avery Williams. Williams does everything and everything well for Boise State.
So Fresno State is trying to do something that they haven't done this year, which is make that shift from being a passing team to now in these elements running the football. They come into this game 94th in the country rushing the football. It's not been their staple, but they need to continue to pound it on the ground to win this one.
Second down and 5. They fake it to Rivers. They go to Keyshawn Johnson for a big loss. Tyler Horton was not fooled at all.
Believe it or not, this is the first catch for Keyshawn Johnson. Micaiah Quick just doesn't get the block on Horton. Great effort on the outside. You know, these quarters haven't seen a whole lot of balls thrown downfield, but now they're being asked to be physical and run support. It's a good job.
Third time they've targeted Keyshawn Johnson. That's his first catch. 3rd and 7 upcoming.
Fresno's going to take a timeout. Jeff Tedford realizing this was a critical play on this first opening drive of the second half.
Jeff Tedford's a guy who took over a 1-11 program.
Amazing.
And he talked about some of the changes he made You know, it wasn't necessarily all football, Grease. It was sort of off the field. It was nutrition. It was conditioning. It was strength. Not necessarily X's and O's and personnel.
He's a big-time football coach, and he knows what he's doing. Been around at many different levels, college, pro, knows what he's doing, and he knew what he was taking over, his alma mater, and he knew that there were some pieces. Obviously, the recruiting ability there at Fresno. And you could argue, Steve, after going 1-11 2 years ago and winning back-to-back 10-win seasons, that they were the best team in the state of California, Todd.
And I talked to Trent Dilfer this week, and he just raves about Jeff Tedford and said no one else wanted to give him a scholarship back in the day. He took a chance on him. He developed him, too, as a quarterback coach and the offensive coordinator.
I love Trent, one of my favorite people on the planet. Former colleague, current friend. There's 3rd and 7. We've had some good quarterbacks come out of Fresno, including a couple of cars. There's Marcus McMarion with time to throw. It's wobbling up in the air and knocked down. It's Tyler Horton on the coverage. He had a better chance to catch that football than Jameer Jordan did.
There's a penalty flag down on about the 11-yard line. Horton was in great position, almost came down with it. Are they going to get him for a hold, though?
Before the pass, holding, defense, number 14. The 10-yard penalty from the previous spot and results in an automatic first down.
Good eyes, Grease.
It's a little harder to see the penalty flags in the snow down there. But let's see. Yeah, this was a double move on the outside and an engagement there by Horton. That's a good call. Jameer Jordan, the receiver.
And that pass is dropped. Johnson will just jump on it just to make sure it's an incomplete pass.
And I also want to make a point about double moves in the snow. Okay, so the offensive players know where they're going. Right. Defensive players don't. Sure. So it makes sense that you run double moves with receivers to make DBs have to change direction. And that time, that's why they got the penalty on Horton.
Second down and 10. McMarion will give it to Rivers. He is stopped at the line of scrimmage and will stop for a loss. Jabril Frazier comes up to make the tackle. Frazier, you want to talk about a tough guy? We had a chance to sit down and talk with him. He had to undergo 3 different surgeries. He did them all at the same time, Grease. 3 surgeries by the same doctor. Who needs a specialist?
That's just a model of efficiency, right? Listen, if you're going to put me under, you might as well get it all done.
It's like going for a complete tune-up. A mechanic, except it's a doctor. Shoulder, knee, ankle, got it all cleaned up. And Jabril Frazier, one of the captains, he is good to go for the Broncos. 3rd and 12. McMarion will take another shot. Looking for Keyshawn, and again, could not get there. Nawahine had the coverage for Boise State.
Yeah, Nawahine was back at that deep safety position. I don't think Marcus McMarion ever saw him. Here he is. He's just going to go back there. And when McMarion lets this ball go, Nawahine's got his eyes on the ball, and McMarion's lucky this wasn't intercepted. I don't think he ever saw him.
Asa Fuller has already connected from 44. This will be a 39-yard attempt for the redshirt freshman. He's got the big leg, but has struggled with his accuracy. Let's see how he does here. In the snow. And just hooks it home. Asa Fuller. Playing the elements perfectly.
You said it. We talked with Jeff Tedford this week, and he said he had some growing pains. He's got a great leg. He said he can make any kick, though. Did that time.
So, Adnan, you could say the closest game going on right now is this one, Mountain West Championship game. It's a 6-point game, 15-7. Here's Butler looking to run it out. Trying to spin away out to the 24-yard line. Mike Bell, a special teams tackle. Take a look at our PlayStation Player Index.
Well, after 3 seasons and then this one, this is what it comes down to for Brett Rippon. The second half of this Mountain West Championship game. Conditions are not ideal by any stretch, but sometimes you got to work through it. And he's had some balls get away from him because of the moisture, but he's in a tight ball game with every opportunity to win. And the last 2 times these teams have met, in the fourth quarter, he's had to come back to win, and he's done it.
First down and 10. Alexander Madison. Expect a dose of that. Mike Bell came up to make the stop. So Rippon has been sort of playing against the ghost a little bit, the ghost of Kellen Moore. There's nothing you can do about that. You know, every franchise, every program has a certain standard and the high ceiling, and that is Kellen Moore here as Madison, for running backs, does it. Takes it out, approaching midfield.
And we talked about Madison and Mike Bell, the safety for Fresno State. That matchup this time, Bell comes up right here. He's got to break down and get Madison on the ground. Yeah, he's big and physical, but he's also got some elusiveness. 17
yards there. Madison has 16 rushing touchdowns this season. Why not feed the big man? There's first down and 10. Again, approaching midfield. People take him on, have to make sort of a business decision. Bryant came up to make that stop. KT Jacopo also there to make the tackle.
We talk a lot about Madison, and for good reason. You see Fresno State player down. It's like it's James, well, that's Walker.
Yeah, Michael Walker.
Well, he's been one of their better players in this game.
He is face down. Former walk-on. Walker's made 9 tackles so far in this game as he gets up slowly.
The Mountain West Football Championship, brought to you by Outback Steakhouse, where you can go big and go home with delivery and takeout. And Jared, dare to be devoted.
Good look at the best television crew behind the scenes in the business. Artie and Don and Sizzle and Sven and Cindy and Brittany, and most of the people have fake made-up nicknames, probably to protect the innocent. And
Joker, Trigger, Sizzle,
Vidge. Eddie V has to listen to us constantly, handling all the audio. And of course, Mike Schwab, our director. The guy who's got the toughest job is producer Josh Hoffman. He's got to deal with you people every single week for the whole season.
Well, Joker coming back home.
This is an important homecoming for Joker. You know, Boise State welcomed back a lot of their former great players. They would have had our cameraman, Kevin Edmondson, out there. We call him Joker. He played corner, led Boise in kick returns back in 1985. He doesn't look as fast anymore, but apparently he was pretty quick back then. Had a 23.5-yard return average that would put him 3rd in the Mountain West this season.
Wow.
So welcome home. I'm looking for the retired numbers up on the side of the stadium, and I don't see anything that says Joker.
I think Joker still has hands. I was watching him up here with McShay in pregame. Take a look at Joker.
Yeah.
He's working the camera right there. Here comes the ball. And with ease, Bruce. Look at that. Now, Joker, the throwback was not ideal.
Oh, come on, Greasy.
But he was a receiver, not a quarterback.
I enjoy it when the cameras get the cameraman. That's great. So we are, thanks to our entire crew, braving the elements. This is a fine way for our crew to finish up, too, here in a blizzard in Boise. And we'll all get together in, I don't know, a few weeks, some bowl game to be determined.
Boise State calls their first time out of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout. 30 seconds in length.
Broncos will spend another time out. That leaves them, both teams, with 2, with under 9 to play here in the 3rd quarter in a 6-point game. Join ESPN and the V Foundation in the fight against cancer. Visit v.org/donate. All the donations benefit the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Do what you can all week long. We certainly appreciate that.
And that was one of the labs here, right, on campus?
Yeah, they've done some fine work here. They got a couple professors At Boise State, Cheryl Jorsic and Greg Hampikian, they're leading the efforts. They found some success with some revolutionary proteins that kill cancer cells and some anti-inflammatories that can stop tumors from spreading. And the cool part is, now that they're aware of the V Foundation, that both professors plan to apply for grants from the V Foundation as well. So good stuff there.
Yeah, best of luck with those applications.
First down and 10. Madison is the ball carrier.
This is shaping up as an impressive drive for Boise State offensively. They give up a drive to start the second half to Fresno State, but they get the stop and force the field goal. So still obviously a one-score game. And now they've taken control predominantly on the ground with Madison.
6 straight carries by Alexander Madison. Again, that is nothing new for him. He will get the bulk of the work. Second down and 7. We'll try it again. Make it 7 consecutive carries for Madison. And as you would expect, the Fresno defense is ready for him too, led by James Bailey. In the fourth quarter last week in that critical game right here against Utah State, get this, Grease, Boise State ran 23 offensive plays. 17 of them were carries by Madison.
Yeah, he just grinded it out. And that's going to be the game plan in this second half as well. The challenge now is for Madison. Can he keep up that pace? Because Fresno State knows they can tee off. They've got 7, 8 guys in the box and not worried about Brett Rippon throwing it.
Good news for Fresno State. Michael Walker is back in the game. Here's Rippon. The rare passing attempt. He'll run for it instead. And it's going to bring up the 4th down, I beg your pardon.
I think the real problem.
Looking about 6.
Yeah. Now, you know, we talked with Brian Harsin about what his range was to attempt a field goal. He said we have been a 4-down team from about the 25 to the 35-yard line. They're right at the 26. So this is on the edge here of going for it, but he's going to decide to kick.
Daniel Cantrell is the snapper. This is significant. They have changed snappers for field goals and extra points this week. This is from 43 yards away for Haden Hoggarth. Snap is good, and the place was good, and it is no good. I think that was blocked. Somebody got a piece of that. And it might have been Matt Bodang.
He was coming hard off the edge. I think he just hooked this, Steve. There comes Bodang around the edge. Yeah, he didn't get a piece of that. That was just hooked by Hoggarth.
So that's when the snap winds up being fine. The hold is good, just the kick is not. Still 13-7. See those kids, their moms, they're texting them right now. Put a shirt on, you're going to catch a cold.
A little late for that.
To be young and in college. Here we go, first down and 10. Fresno State with the ball in a 6-point lead. McMarion will hand off to Ronnie Rivers. And he is stopped by Jabril Frazier.
You know, Lees, I get the feeling, and Todd and I were just talking about this during the break, that Fresno State seems less affected by the elements than Boise State. They've got the running game going. They're controlling this football game on the defensive side. They're not turning the ball over.
Even the kickers, too.
Yeah, even the kickers, Todd. Outside of Keyshawn Johnson, who's arguably their best player, who's been silent most of the game, I think they're handling it better.
He's shaking his hand. Every time Keyshawn gets near a football, they got 3 blue jerseys instantly on him. Third down and 8 upcoming.
All that being said, protecting the football, if you're Marcus McMarion in these kinds of situations, is paramount, as this game could flip in an instant.
From their own 29. Good protection from McMarion. Now he runs and sort of goes into a slide late by Ava, able to bring him down and get the pounding on McMarion.
I give some credit to defensive coordinator Andy Avalos, who brought a little pressure, but then dropped into his zone. Nowhere to go with that football. A nice job by Tyson Maeva to come up and get McMarion on the ground, but good adjustment by Avalos.
Avery Williams is back deep. Blake Cusick. Back to punt. Some pressure, and Williams will see if he can get a return out of this. Never called for the fair catch. Looked like everybody was waiting for the fair catch. Jacob Westbury didn't see one either, and therefore properly applied the lumber. Tomorrow, NFL Countdown finds out how Aaron Rodgers and Larry Fitzgerald's friendship took them to Africa and to help people suffering from hearing loss. And then on Monday night, it's an NFC East battle. Washington will take on Carson Wentz and the Eagles. Coverage kicks off at 8:15 Eastern on ESPN. Aaron Rodgers traveled to Zambia as part of the Starkey Hearing Foundation. And that's a great gift to give if you can. Madison, the ball carrier. James Bailey, the stop.
It's worth mentioning that Michael Walker, the first-team all-conference defensive end from Fresno State, who we saw go out of the game with looked like an elbow injury, is back out there, but that elbow, his left elbow, is heavily taped.
2nd and 7. It's Madison squeezing through the arms of some defenders and finally being brought down. And that could be the 35, give or take. Bring up a 3rd down and 3.
This has turned into a game that looks like it's going to be decided by the big uglies, as Keith Jackson used to say, down in the pit. This offensive line for Boise State, they've been successful for the most part in opening some holes. You don't need a whole lot of holes for Madison, just a crease. But John Bates, the tight end, Cleveland, Molchon on that left side, that's where they want to run the football.
Yeah, Cleveland's a real dude, as the coaching staff told us. Got some NFL in his future. Rippon going to try to run for it. He won't get there. Kevin Atkins, welcome to the football game. Hits the score sheet. I think that's his first tackle, and it's a huge play.
Well, here he is right here. They're just going to try to release and then block him with the guard, but they're not able to execute it well enough. Cleveland did not get enough on him, and that's the best defensive tackle for Fresno State, who comes up with a huge play for tackle for loss.
Kevin Atkins, who made 5 tackles here in the championship game a season ago, makes the big stop and will get the football back for Fresno State. They're going to let it bounce, and it will, to the 31-yard line. 3 minutes to play here in the 3rd, in a 13-7 lead for Fresno State. The history, the recent history between these two, well, it's not good for the Bulldogs. You see, they won the one game on their home field back in November of last year, but in the last 2 games, they actually had the lead going into the 4th quarter and lost both of those games to these Broncos. Get this, Jeff Tedford Reese is 18-2 as Fresno State's head coach when leading after 3 quarters. 18-2. And there are those 2 losses, the only 2 he's got.
The only good news for him is that the guy that made the big play to win the last game, Khalil Shakir, is out for this game. But certainly they have got to learn how to finish.
On the ground, McMarion, who faked it to Hokett. It looked like the defense bought that fake, and that allowed McMarion to get some good yardage. Noah eventually came up to make the stop. Boise State is banged up. Hey, every team is banged up now, but really the Broncos have gone throughout the season losing their best defensive lineman, their best linebacker, and best defensive back, and all they can do is watch here tonight. Here's Hokett, the ball carrier, short of the marker. Durant Miles made the stop. There's David Moa, who hurt his leg in fall camp, the unquestioned leader of that defense. Riley Whimpey was their leading tackler. He was injured against BYU. And DeAndre Pierce from the defensive backs. He was their top guy. Now he's running practice with a whistle. And on 3rd down and 2, Looney comes up to make the stop.
Great play by Louis. Knowing that 3rd and short situation, it's just going to take on the guard, just too physical there. And you got to give credit to this Boise State defense. You mentioned those were their best players, but they were also, Moa was their emotional leader, and DeAndre Pierce was the signal caller in the back end. So it wasn't just the good players, but they were also leaders and some of the smartest players on defense.
And energy guys as well. That snap to Blake Cusick was perfect. Credit to Jacob Westbury, the snapper. Avery Williams will call for the fair catch. You can't say enough about these guys. Look, every team has to overcome, and we get that. It's a long season, but to lose your best player at each level of the defense is really tough. And Moa, you could make the argument he's the face of the program. I mean, he's really on the stadium here, and they're hoping he gets a chance for a 6th year, Todd.
You know, it's been really cool to watch these guys on the sideline, too. Coaching up individual players when they're coming off the field, getting everyone going. I mean, they're just as involved as they would be if they were playing in the game, but this is all they can do at this point.
There's Rippon throwing and completing. That's John Hightower with Bryant on him. I feel like it's been a while since Rippon completed a pass. And there it is there.
Yeah, because it's been the Madison show, and but I think you're realizing that Fresno State is good enough that if you're one-dimensional, they're not going to allow you to score. And so Brett Rippon is going to have to throw the football. These receivers are going to have to make plays and secure the football in the second half to win.
2nd down and 2. It is Madison. He's got first down yardage. Able to just squeeze through that hole, running behind Molchan and Cleveland, and the strength of that offensive line on the left side.
And if I were Boise State right now, and Zach Hill, their offensive coordinator, I would use play action. That would be the way that I would choose to attack throwing the football, and I would do it off of double moves. For the same reason Fresno State tried it, Boise State, by time, you can affect linebackers and run double moves off of play action.
There you go, the play fake and the throw. Able to complete to Sean Monster coming across. Tank Kelly made the tackle.
And really smart from Brett Rippon to target Monster. The one guy you know can catch the ball in these elements is Monster. He's had 2 unbelievable catches in the first half, 1 for a touchdown.
Tank Kelly can't cover you any closer than he did there. Trying to go to A.J. Richardson, little bump. Incomplete. Kelly on the coverage.
Oh, Tank Kelly got away with one there, and he knows it. He got there early. Definitely contact before that ball arrived, and no call from the official.
Come on, it's a championship game. Let's let him play a little. Ticky-tack. Here we go. 17 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. $2 as I give it to Madison. You want some of that action?
No.
And for a loss. The whole planet knew, including the Fresno State defense, that Alexander Madison was going to get the football, and KT Jacopo was the first man there to make the stop.
Boy, and Alexander Madison still on the blue turf.
Still clinging to that football, too.
Looked like he kind of went down awkward. Jacopo, he kind of got on him quick. He didn't expect him to be in the backfield that fast, and Jacopo at 300 pounds, bringing him down awkward. Let's see what happened. So he wasn't expecting him to be right there, and that was a helmet-to-helmet hit. Looked like it may have dazed Madison. He just wasn't ready for that.
And Grease, Madison has already carried the ball 27 times, and we're not even at the 4th quarter yet.
There was definitely a mix-up on the right side of that offensive line to allow Jacopo to come back free into the backfield.
And that's where the issues have been on that offensive line, on that right side, with Quevedo and Ojukwu. They thought they figured things out. Quevedo was injured against Nevada, able to return, though, 3 weeks ago in that Fresno State game. They sort of figured things out from that point. But some trouble there as Madison's able to jog off on his own power. He has exactly half of Boise State's total yardage here tonight.
I'm actually surprised it's not
yes,
more.
Right. Of course. 4 seconds left in the quarter.
But a big-time stop from Fresno State defensively and back-to-back drives. And now they've taken control of this game on the defensive side.
Madison will get the extra breather as we get ready for the winning quarter in a championship game in the snow in Boise.
Welcome back to Boise, where Fresno State leads 13-7. And I just saw Alexander Madison, the star running back for the Broncos, came off the field with the injury, watched him with the trainer, and the trainer worked on his left shoulder a little bit. After a little bit of that, he looked at the trainer, said, "I'm fine," went back in the huddle, so I expect to see him later on in this game when the Broncos get the ball back.
All right. Todd, how's your play-by-play from down there? Because We can't see it. It's like one cloud.
What just happened?
One cloud has rolled in, and it is directly in front of the broadcast booth. Look at this.
You think that's a cloud?
Pyrotechnics.
It must have been the pyrotechnics.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Did we have pyrotechnics?
Do I have to investigate everything for you, Levy?
We're up here, Todd, somewhere in the mist. That's what we see.
So I don't hear it. Don't add me on my play-by-play if I misidentify a yard line, okay? Or a team or a conference.
Oh, it's getting better. Stop complaining.
All right, clear now. It's a championship game. Quarter number 4. The winning quarter. I think Fresno State has the ball. McMarion to throw. Able to complete to Keyshawn Johnson for just a couple. They have really bottled up Keyshawn Johnson all night long.
Ah, there's the evidence.
Also, God, so it wasn't a cloud then.
Al Roker again.
Hey, Jim Cantori, call me. Tell me if that was a cloud or not. Second down and 6.
You're a piece of work.
Something like that. McMarion gives it to Grimm. Trying to get the end around from the wide receiver. And Boise State wasn't being fooled by that. Now Ahine made the tackle.
Somebody needs to make a play on one of these offenses. Both defenses have taken control in this second half. And somebody on the skill positions, they try to get the football to Keyshawn Johnson. McMarion's been quiet. Really haven't got a lot of production in the running game. Fresno State needs to make a play in the fourth quarter to win.
2 for 10 on third down conversions. That's Johnson in motion. Top of your screen. Marion looks that way, and now look to the left. Now back. Trying to loft one. In Johnson's direction, nothing doing. And it's fourth down. And McMarion will get a pickup from Ronnie Rivers off the turf.
This is on the offensive coordinator, Kalen DeBoer. There's nowhere to go here. You guys let it run. It's just gonna. You got a couple of quick throws. There's nobody open. I mean, you can't throw the ball here. There's nowhere to go. You have to create some crossing routes, some easy throws for McMarion. That's on the play call.
Cusick is set to punt. Out of the snap of Westbury. On the money. Cusick brings it down. And see if Avery Williams has a chance. He'll call for the fair catch. The Bulldogs will get out of the way. It's a 36-yard punt. Tomorrow we'll have the exclusive reveal of the college football playoff semifinal matchups. Reese and the guys will also unveil the other big bowl games. That's a whole lot of interest to a lot of people at ESPN. And the final top 25 rankings. It all starts at noon Eastern on ESPN. Then at 4 p.m. on ESPN2, it's number 1 Notre Dame taking on number 2 UConn. The Women's Jimmy V Classic in South Bend. You remember Notre Dame last year. Ogunbowale hit that jumper with 1 second left.
Awesome game.
That was the Adam Amin call that become famous. And what a college hoops game that was.
Great play there by Tank Kelly. You mentioned it earlier. He has been all over these wide receivers. You see how he's just transitioning faster than the Boise State wide receivers. The receivers are chopping down, and they're taking a while to get out of their breaks. But Kelly and Bryant, the corners for Fresno State on either side, have one cut, and they're moving.
Here's Rippon. Under pressure. Going to be taken down. He is dropped by Ricky McCoy and Michael Walker. McCoy got him around the ankles, and Walker came in to clean it up. Excellent coverage must be by Fresno State because Rippon had the time.
Look at that spin move by McCoy. Great job staying with it. And again, Fresno State defensively, that's been the story of this game. They have been up to the challenge, up to the task. Certainly the elements have helped, but they have been playing at a different intensity.
The Fresno scoring defense is number 2 in the country. 13.5 points per game, and they're under that tonight. Here's Rippon, steps up and fires down the field. Middle of the field had 1 blue jersey. John Hightower running with 3 white ones, including Juju Hughes.
This is getting to a point for Brett Rippon where he's getting a little frustrated, and it's understandable, but it hasn't gone his way tonight. This is a young man that prides himself on preparation. The amount of time that he puts in during the course of a week is probably more than any quarterback in college football. And right now, he doesn't have a whole lot of answers, and you can see that last throw was just a desperation trying to get anything going.
Rippon just 12 of 24 for only 84 yards passing. Skillen will get it away. Ronnie Rivers will let it bounce, and it will take a big, big Boise State bounce. 12:23 to go in the fourth. Fresno State with a 6-point lead in the championship game. College football brought to you by Hampton by Hilton. With more than 2,400 locations, you can follow your team anywhere. I know that maybe Terry Toomey had funded a fan bus for Fresno State fans to come here. As we welcome you back to the Dr. Pepper Championship Week. We've had a field goal so far. That's the only points of the second half. We are early on in the fourth quarter. First down and 10. And Marcus McMarion and the Bulldogs with a 6-point lead. And McMarion looking for more and finds a wide open Keyshawn Johnson. Been waiting for it all night long. The big play to Johnson, who has been shut down, and they finally get it to him with big-time yardage, good for 32.
And really nice job off of play action. A very creative route, lined him up in the slot, and he kind of weaved his way out to the corner and wide open.
On the ground to Hogan. Nothing doing there. Kekala Kaniho able to make the stop.
I would come back to that if I were Fresno State. You know, you lined Keyshawn Johnson up a lot of different places. All season they've tried to find ways to get him the football because every single defense keys him and doubles him. When you put him in the slot and it makes it more difficult to double him, at worst it will open up some lanes for your other receivers.
Johnson breaking Devontae Adams' records here. And Adams is the reason he came to Fresno State in the first place. Family friends, same high school, recruited him here. McMarion hit as he throws. And they were looking to go back to Keyshawn Johnson. And he bounced after taking the contact. Curtis Weaver.
Yeah, it's Weaver just coming off the edge. And that is too short of an edge by Christian Cronk, the left tackle. He's a first-team all-conference player, but way too soft on the edge and allowing Weaver to get in the backfield.
So here's third down and 11 now. McMarion just over 100 yards passing tonight. 13 of 20. Look for his 14th completion. Down the field. Battle for the ball. That battle is won by Avery Williams. Going up with Keyshawn Johnson on a 50-50 ball.
Great job by Avery Williams. He's only 5'9", and Keyshawn Johnson 6'2". Watch him get his head back and play the football. Gets a hand on it. He's allowed to get a little bit of contact and leeway from the official because he's looking back and playing the football. That's really well done by Avery Williams.
It's Cusick again to punt it away. This will be his 5th punt. And Avery Williams, after making the big defensive play, trying to make a return. Now flag flies and the two teams are pointing at each other.
False start. Offense, number 34. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
That's Helmuth, who moved. We'll try it again. We'll back him up 5 more yards.
So much comes down to these snappers in games and conditions like this.
Jacob Westbury is the snapper. Brought down nicely by Cusick. Avery Williams will let it bounce. And it'll be out to about the 14-yard line, although Adnan, quite frankly, it's tough to tell.
14-yard line. That's where the Broncos will have it. First and 10 with 11:10 remaining in the game.
All right, keep us posted. Thank you, Adnan. See Boise State in that game. It was just 3 weeks ago. They trailed by 7 entering the fourth quarter, so actually in better shape, Bruce. They're only down by 6. Here's Rippon to throw. Finds a wide open seam. It's John Bates out of nowhere. Rippon has been waiting for that all night.
Look at him look to his right there, looking off to safety. Looks off Helmuth, the linebacker. And yeah, the ball's a little bit short, but it's a completion and changes field position. And finally something positive for Boise State offensive.
Good for 29, and Bates could have stayed on his feet. He could have had some real running room there too. Sort of an awkward somersault after making the grab. On the ground is Madison. The pile will push him out of bounds. Tank Kelly. And on the Boise sideline, the crowd wanting a call. And no flags to be seen, Todd.
Well, you go back to that last throw from Brett Rippon, really important. The confidence as a quarterback. Could finally see some energy back in him after that throw. He's now, he's yelling to the sidelines. It's almost like he needed one positive throw, and I would argue that was the best throw that he's had all night.
Yeah, I agree with you, Todd. It's all about confidence. That's what we came into this game talking about with these two quarterbacks. Rippon came in with all the confidence in the world because they've won this game, and McMarion didn't have it. Now Rippon struggling.
Feeling some of that confidence. Rippon wants to throw again. He takes a couple of big hits, led by Jeff Allison.
Boy, he got stood up and took a couple of shots. He got wrapped up around the legs and then took a shot to his back.
Bobby Jones chased him out of the pocket.
Yeah. You can sense that Fresno State, they can taste it. Right? They've been in this position the last 2 times they've played, and they've given it up. They haven't finished. And if they're going to finish this game, it's going to be by this defense making plays.
So it's 3rd down and 3 at midfield. Rippon, quick throw, and able to complete to C.T. Thomas. Helmuth got the pressure and put a lick on Rippon.
Nobody ever questions the toughness of Brett Rippon. He had to have this 3rd down. He had to stand in there. Helmuth had a free shot on him. He knew he was going to take a big hit and still delivered the 1st down.
On the ground to Alexander Madison. They've softened up that Fresno defense a little bit. Juju Hughes preventing it from being a bigger gain. Mike Bell couldn't bring him down. Madison getting it done there.
Great job by this offensive line up front, too. Molchon, the left guard, coming off the football. They get a double team on Atkins, and when you get him to the 2nd level, there's not a lot of backs in college football better.
1st down and 10. This is Boise's best drive since I can't remember. Madison trying the left side on for size. Couple of yards. Helmuth makes the stop.
That's got to be their best drive since the 1st quarter when they scored the touchdown. The touchdown to Modster, that was an impressive drive. But since then, it's been all Fresno State defensively. But again, they started this drive around their 10-yard line. Now they're at the 35, but it's been difficult for them to finish drives.
2nd down and 8. From the 34, Fresno State. It is Madison hopping through some people. Is this the big play finally? Alexander Madison, touchdown. The patience of the Boise State offense finally pays off.
This is what he does in the 4th quarter of games, 2nd half of games. He just wears you out. You got to tackle him. You got to get him down 25, 30, now 35 times in a game, and that takes its toll on a defense and that offensive line. Give credit up front. Ezra Cleveland, the left tackle, a great seal block, and the finisher, Madison, to the end zone.
You saw Tank Kelly was frustrated. He had a chance to bring him down. It's a 34-yard run from Madison. He's carried the football 31 times for 163 yards, and that score if it stands. And they'll check to see if his knee was down before that football crossed the plane.
Yeah, again, the call on the field, the official's in great position, as you can see right there, but he does not see his knee because he was shielded. The question is, did the ball cross the plane before that left knee goes down? And I don't think there's conclusive evidence to overturn the call on the field, which was a touchdown.
So, Grease, prior to that play, Boise State had run 23 more plays and held the football 11 more minutes than Fresno State and had trailed by 6. Be an extra point away from the Broncos taking the lead if this call stands. Call on the field, touchdown.
Well, it's appropriate that Boise State took the field tonight with hammers in every single person's hand because they have hammered away. It hasn't been pretty, but they've kept pounding the rock with that hammer, and finally they got one to break.
And Madison now has the most rushing yards in a Mountain West championship game with those 163. Let's see what the call is.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
And so just like that, with 8 minutes to go, we're all even.
Point and extra point here.
Haden Hoggarth has not missed an extra point all season. Snap of the place, and it's blocked! The extra point is blocked! Matt Boateng, who we thought blocked the earlier field goal and didn't, definitely got his fingertips on this one.
Credit Fresno State. They found a soft spot in the special teams unit, this field goal attempt unit for Boise State. Here he is right here. This is too soft on that edge. He comes right around. They don't even attempt to block him, Steve.
Wow. Simply amazing. First missed extra point on the season keeps it a tie game.
The Mountain West Football Championship is presented on ESPN by Hampton by Hilton. For the best price guaranteed, book at Hampton.com. And in part by Chevy. Chevy has earned J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs.
I'm sure Georgia's still going to maintain they're one of the top 4 teams in the country. They had Bama on the ropes. UCF full marks to the Knights, huh, with their backup quarterback going out?
Absolutely. You give credit to DJ Mack Jr. to come in and play the way they did, scoring 55 points.
And Texas gave Oklahoma everything they could handle as well.
I thought the eye-opener today for me was Oklahoma's defense. And I think they've earned the right to be in that 4th spot. Their defense they're not great, but they came up with the stops they needed in a big game.
Find out for sure, noon Eastern tomorrow on ABC. DeJounte O'Neal returning it. We sent it back to Adnan with a Big Ten update. Adnan, thank you.
Boy, you can't say enough about Pat Fitzgerald, Clayton Thorson.
Yes.
I mean, that program is a huge green arrow pointing up.
And that's after what Ohio State did to Michigan last week. I'm sure you don't want me to go there, but they suffered some kind of letdown. Imagine that in the conference championship game. That's how big that Ohio State-Michigan rivalry is. This is as good a rivalry out west as most people will know about. And we're all even at 13 apiece.
Jeez, let's go back and look at that block kick. Yeah. This is Blakely, the tight end. Watch, he doesn't even attempt to block the edge with Boateng. He comes down, almost grabs the back of the tackle. That player is supposed to get the inside gap secure and then pop out and get a hand on the edge rusher. That's a breakdown in scheme.
Ronnie Rivers, the ball carrier. And we saw earlier, Boateng nearly had another block.
Yeah, same thing, right on the edge here. The same kind of approach, doesn't even attempt to block it. And credit Fresno State, for figuring that out. And it's affected this game with that field goal attempt. And now we'll see how much it comes back to bite Boise State in a tie ball game.
McMarion throwing. And he was behind Rivers coming out of the backfield. It'll be 4th down. Maeva breaking it up. Again, the man in the middle for the Broncos.
Maeva broke it up, but he should have caught it. It was right in the breadbasket, and there was nothing but blue and white turf in front of him in the end zone. This is thrown well behind. Boy, that's the kind of play Boise State needed.
Cusick is on to punt again, his 6th. Bit of a low snap. He'll dig it off the snow. And Avery Williams on a bounce. And he'll be dropped. Bryant on the special teams tackle. 6:59 to go in the 4th. All tied. That's regulation time, I should point out. Take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by AT&T. Do not expect chalk across the top 4 when Reese hosts that show tomorrow afternoon. Although Kirby was trying to make a case for it after the game.
He's got a case.
Yep.
He certainly has. Listen, Georgia looked outstanding in that game. I mean, give credit to Jalen Hurts, though, too.
In every way. A.J. Richardson on the receiving end. The snow is clearly stopped. Maybe the rain has even stopped as well.
Mostly.
Thoughts from Todd McShay.
Beautiful night for football.
There's still some precipitation coming down. 2nd down and 4.
No, it's actually, honestly, it's the best it's been all game long in terms of gripping a football now.
You can actually see the logo at midfield again. Madison, the ball carrier. Another tackle for Michael Walker, who's had himself a fine game. Walker's first game in uniform. Speaking of blocks, he blocked the field goal that was returned for a touchdown. Then he had a blocked punt against UNLV. He's the first Bulldog since 2011 to have 2 blocks in one season. He's had a strong game here tonight.
And he's battled through. He came out. You see that left elbow heavily taped up. Looked like he got hit by Michael Bell, the safety, in some friendly fire, but he's pushing through.
3rd down and 2. I was going to say it's a big play, but every play the rest of the way will be a big play. 5:45 to go. Oh, what a tackle. What a tackle. Mike Bell came up and just ruined the night. Blew up that play. All by himself, unassisted, solo tackle.
Madison has won some of these, and Bell has won some of these. They've been going back and forth. This is not a form tackle by any stretch. He just takes a shot at the left leg of Madison and brings up a huge 4th down.
Looked like Bell ran into the wrong hole, then had time to correct and pick the right hole. Skillen. For Rivers. What a punt by Skillen. Brings him back to the 16-yard line. Some of the Boise State mistakes that have them in a 13-all game.
Start right off the bat with Brett Rippon losing the football. It was very difficult to grip that football. They missed that touchdown on 4th down, missed a field goal. That was influenced by Boateng, and then the final Boateng gets to that extra point, which keeps this a tie ball game.
Boateng is a good Canadian boy, senior from Toronto, as Don Cherry would say. 1st down and 10, just over 5 to go in the 4th. McMarion trying to run out of trouble, and he'll just throw that away. Canijo had the pressure on him. So Fresno State has won 1 time here at Boise. It came on September 8th, 1984. They won 37-21. Just to show you how long ago that was 2 seasons before the blue turf was installed. There's a whole generation that thinks they've never had green grass or turf here.
0-10. On this blue turf for Fresno State. They're trying to exercise demons right here tonight.
And in a championship game. McMarion will throw into some duress. Nearly took out the guy with the 1st down marker. Louis had the quarterback pressure. He's had a strong game as well for Boise State.
Boy, it seems like McMarion is playing this real safe. Throwing the ball away. This time he feels a little bit of pressure and just throws it into the stands, but he's not even giving his receivers a chance to make a play.
And then he looks up at the official wanted to call. McMarion has won for his last 6.
You can't hope to go win this game. You got to go do it.
3rd down and 10. Do not want to give Boise State the football back with momentum. McMarion will throw. Cool and calm. He'll complete to his tight end, Jared Rice. And Rice somehow able to get out of tackles of 3 different Broncos to pick up the 1st down. Amazing opportunity by Jared Rice to keep that play alive.
Big-time players make these big-time plays. Jared Rice has been quiet all game long. He hasn't even targeted him. And you get him the football, he was stopped short of the 1st down, and that's just more will to win than the opponent. That's the 1st down.
That may be Maeva's first missed tackle. He had an opportunity to bring him down and get the football back for his offense. Instead, the clock continues to tick, and Fresno State has the ball looking for some more. Quick out to Darion Grimm. Horton had the coverage there.
Watch how that play by Jared Rice, that conversion, that effort, the way he made that play, watch how that affects this Fresno State offense. Watch how it affects McMarion and his confidence in this drive.
2nd down and 5. The give is to Quick, the wide receiver, and he coughed up the football. Gave it up. Canijo able to pick it up for Boise State. Just when you figured that Fresno State had worked things out, confidence at a high, they coughed the football up.
We talked about the 2nd half, turnovers being a big part of this. In these elements, Micaiah Quick, a wide receiver who's not used to running the football in between in all that traffic, does not secure it, and Boise State defensively makes the play of the game so far.
And Maeva, who just missed the tackle on Rice, along with Ezekiel Noah, they forced that turnover. And Boise State is in business with the football at the Fresno State 43. 1st down and 10. Rippon comes out throwing. Why wouldn't he? Hightower went up and couldn't bring it down. Tad Kelly and Juju Hughes had the coverage.
All right, look at Micaiah Quick, his reaction, the 5th-year senior. You know, all these receivers are seniors. There's a lot of seniors stacked on. They have never beaten Boise State up here, and they want it so bad. They can taste it. They've lost, and they've given these games away in 4th quarters, and he knows that that was a huge momentum change.
28 members of this Fresno State senior class. They went from having a 1-win team to 2 double-digit consecutive winning seasons. First time in 29 years they had consecutive 10-win seasons. Just the 2nd team in FBS history to go from double-digit losses to double-digit wins. So this senior class has experienced just about everything for the Bulldogs.
Meanwhile, after that momentum change, the same story for Fresno State defensively. They're up to the task. They've given up that one big run to Madison on the last drive. Outside of that, they force another 3rd and 9 situation here, maybe get off the field.
Number 43 of Fresno State. Rippon the throw. Nearly intercepted. Mike Bell nearly had it, and there would have been nothing but blue in front of him.
Unbelievable opportunity for Mike Bell. He runs underneath this, almost intercepts it. He read the route the entire time, Todd.
And what a potential huge play for Fresno. And they don't miss many of those opportunities. They've got 17 interceptions on the season. He has 3 alone, and they're ranked 5th in the entire FBS with those takeaways on INT.
Skillen trying to put Fresno State back deep. Ronnie Rivers, the fair catch. And it will be at the 10-yard line. That's where the Bulldogs will take over with 3:15 left in a tie game, a tie championship game.
And it might come down to the kicking game again. It's been good, certainly good for Fresno State, and it's been tragic for Boise State. Will this game come down to a field goal? And you got to think about Asa Miller, their redshirt freshman kicker, and his confidence level has to be sky high.
Each team has 2 timeouts remaining. in what was expected to be the closest of all the championship games played today and tonight. And here we are. McMarry on the throw to Keyshawn Johnson. See with forward progress, they'll give him a yard or two. Tyler Horton will swing him around for the stop.
Tyler Horton has been outstanding in this football game. He has been all over the field. He has been matched up on Keyshawn Johnson quite a bit. And if I'm Fresno State, I'm going to do exactly what they're doing right now. They're taking Keyshawn Johnson to the other side of the field away from Horton. Let him run a double move over there on Williams.
2nd down and 6. On the ground, it's Ronnie Rivers running through some people. Still on his feet is Rivers, and they'll push the pile. What an effort by Ronnie Rivers with a little help from his friends to gain a 16. Looked like 26.
Boy, Ronnie Rivers, Jared Rice on back-to-back drives showing you the effort, the want to. They want to win this football game. They taste it.
Clock ticks under 2.5.
No rush if you're Fresno State. You want to go down, get in position to put points on the board with no time left.
McMarry, that's time to survey the situation. And hits Jameer Jordan. He's out to midfield.
Boy, that was a big-time throw, dangerous throw. When you start working on one side of the field and you come all the way back and throw a long comeback route on the other side, typically defenders will be there in time for that, but Williams was playing really soft, and a big first down for Fresno.
18 yards on that last completion. McMarrion hit as he throws. Pressure from Louis again.
Yeah, Boise State is consistently bringing 5-man pressures off the edge, and they're getting some one-on-one matchups with Louis inside, and they can't handle him. And just that size and that bull rush between Louis and Hatada, both those guys getting pressure in the middle.
You see Asa Fuller loosening up, thinking about having a chance to win this Mountain West championship game, and to do it on the blue at Boise.
This looks like a pressure look here with Noah in the middle.
Barry to throw and complete to Keyshawn Johnson. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds. They'll give him, let's say, 3 on the play against Tyler Horton on the coverage. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down, 6th catch all of a sudden for Johnson.
Well, they've thrown a lot of short routes to Johnson, a lot of hitches on the outside. Be set up in this situation to run that hitch and go if you want it down the field.
3rd down and 7. Jabril Frazier's creeping.
Well, the defense is checking now because the offense is checking. Down to 6 on the play clock.
Now it's 2. And on 1, McMarrion gets the ball. In some trouble. Tug on his jersey. McMarrion can't get out of there. He's dropped for a loss by Jordan Happel. 4th down. And a punting situation. And the Broncos are going to get the football back.
Boise State defense just refusing to give up anything. They bring pressure. I'm not sure how McMarrion gets out of the first one, but Happel with a sure-handed tackle on the outside keeps Boise State in this game.
With 1:29 left, the Broncos will spend a timeout there. They are left with 1. And every play becomes so important now. As Cusick is about to punt it, we expect to Avery Williams. Fans, you can tune in to the ESPN app for the post-game trophy ceremony immediately following this game. And Grease, good on the folks who have braved the elements tonight. They've seen a heck of a championship game this evening here in Boise. Here's Cusick to punt it away from his own 35. Avery Williams will let it bounce, and it will be down about the 16-yard line. Boise State will take over. 1:23 left and 1 timeout. All right, Ed, hope you didn't have any more plans for the rest of your night. We might be here for a while. I know you're a busy social calendar. As you see, Boise State, this is moments ago, bringing the whole team out there together.
Yeah, I like this. This is it. You get a minute and a half, championship game. You got an opportunity to go down here and win it. That's all you can ask for.
So here we go. One timeout left for the Broncos. Minute 23, and they're deep in their own territory, starting from the 15. Looking for Madison to break one. Helmuth won't have that.
They better have called 2 plays on that sideline when they were over there celebrating, because you come out and you run it like that, you better get to the line of scrimmage and go.
That was odd that the Boise State spent the timeout prior to the punt.
Well, they were trying to stop the clock because McMarion was tackled in bounds.
And that leaves them with the one left. Here's Madison. Exactly what they were looking for there. And he's wrestled down by Jeff Allison. So we hit the final minute.
Oh, and Madison came down on the field hard. Oh, no, and he is really a whale of a game.
36 for 181.
Yeah, I mean, he just, and they have relied on him play in and play out, but he went down hard here. That's Jeff Addison, the linebacker, and the first thing to hit the ground was Madison's head. And you wonder about this field as it's gotten colder and colder. It gets harder and harder. You just hope that Madison's okay.
So let's see. The clock is stopped. Boise State still has their one timeout left.
For a 10-second runoff, as the first down is what stopped the clock.
So under a minute to do a 10-second runoff here.
Yeah, because of the injured player there.
Ripping the throw. And coming back for the ball, let's see. The Fresno State sideline says it's incomplete. C.T. Thomas, the intended target. The officials will agree.
So let's go back to that injury. As you see, this was clearly an incomplete pass, but that injury is important for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, he's not going to be their best player in this drive to potentially go down and win. But if they go to overtime, then they potentially would be without their best player. Now, he wants back in the game. You see him, he wants back in the game, and the trainers are trying to hold him back. That's the job of the trainer, right? And clearly Madison, he doesn't want to come out of this football game. Obviously, he's paid the price all season long, and he's just going to come back in the game. Brian Harsin needs to get control of this here.
Well, Robert Mahone just carried the football, and it looks like at this point now Boise's playing for overtime. 18 seconds left, the one timeout. But he's got his helmet on.
Well, he never took it off. But the problem is that, you know, when he got up off the ground, he looked like he was dazed. And everybody on that staff, the training staff in particular, saw that, and they need to take it easy with respect to Madison. And Brian Harsin needs to communicate with that training staff as well. And now they'll get a chance to do so.
So there might be some Boise State fans saying, hey, you know, we had a chance, we didn't take a shot, win the game kind of thing, but they played it conservative. And as you point out, they need to settle things down on their sideline, and now they can set up for overtime. The Mountain West Championship. We're going to play some extra football. Welcome back to the 2018 Mountain West Championship game, presented by Hampton, by Hilton, as we get set for the coin flip.
We'll now go to overtime. Step in for me just a little bit. We'll go to overtime. Each team will have the opportunity to possess the ball in each overtime period. If the score is tied after the first overtime period, we'll go to a second. If the score is tied after the second, if you score a touchdown on your possession, you must go for 2 on the extra point. We'll determine who gets the ball first with a coin toss. We'll use the same coin we did before. Championship logo is heads. Team logos is tails. Heads and tails. The winner of the toss will get to choose offense or defense, or which end of the field we play on. If we go to a second overtime, the loser of this toss will get the option in the second overtime. Any questions? All right, Fresno, you're still the visiting team. What's going to be your call? He's called heads. It is heads. You want to go on defense first? Which end do you want to play on? You want to play down there. Play on down there.
So that is significant. Boise State will get the football first. And we'll see if that rushes Alexander Madison into action.
Well, there's no question if Madison is able to go, he is a factor.
So here's the deal, Brian. Kind of right as the game ended before overtime, the trainers grabbed him, and he was sitting there kind of mocking him, like, what are you going to do? You're going to do the one-finger test over my eyes? You can do it out here. I don't need to go in the tent. He goes, you don't have a choice. Back to him, and he forced him in the tent. They went in for about 2 or 3 minutes, came out. He's been joking with his teammates for the last minute, and it looks like he's going back in.
Well, I mean, I agree with you, Todd, that sometimes you make light of a situation like that, but in today's football, you can't make light of those things. He was clearly dazed.
No, I know. I'm just telling you what he was saying.
Yeah,
to the trainer.
I know. And those trainers they're just trying to do their job. He's back out on the field.
Looking for carry number 37 on the night. And there it is. Alexander Madison, another shot from Jeff Allison.
Yeah, it's not like, when he goes back in there, he's not going to take some shots, because that's the way the whole game has been. It's been Jeff Allison at 235 pounds at that Mike linebacker position, going head-to-head with Madison. It's been physical, and Allison, he's going to continue.
2nd down and 5. Madison, second level, has the first down. Juju Hughes upended him. Again, in overtime, turn the game clock off.
What an awesome stiff arm there. I mean, he is so determined right now.
Oh, he's stiff-armed the training staff. He's stiff-arming guys out on that field. I mean, he's come so far this year, and the whole offense has been on his back, and he was going to do anything possible to finish this season out the right way.
3 yards shy of 200 rushing. Madison. Mike Bell made the stop there. He's very close to that 200-yard mark. It is worth pointing out, should we get there, Boise State has not attempted a 2-point conversion all season long. Think about that for a second. See if that comes into play. Second down and goal, about the 8. Madison. Another yard or 2. Bring up a 3rd down and goal.
I mean, I get it. You're going to dance with the one that got you here in Alexander Madison. But at this point, if you run a little play action and sneak the tight end in the flat, it's going to be wide open. Blakely, Bates, any one of those guys, because Fresno State is selling out inside the box to stop 22.
And Brian, with the kicking issues that Boise has had, I wonder if they're not playing 2-down territory here.
Might be.
40 carries on the night, and even 200 yards. Alexander Madison, what does he have left in the tank? They are going to throw. Ripping to the end zone. It is incomplete, and a flag down. A.J. Richardson trying to bring it down. Jaron Bryant had the coverage. We'll check the marker.
Boy, that did not look like pass interference to me. And now he's looking like it's on the offense. Illegal. There was a man downfield on Boise. That could have been a called run play where Brett Rippon just decides to throw the fade, but you have an offensive lineman downfield, and that's going to be the call.
Ineligible player downfield on the offense, number 85. That penalty is declined. The result of the play brings up 4th down.
It's John Bates, the tight end.
Well, John Bates is a tight end.
So it's 4th down and goal. They will go for the field goal attempt. Haden Hoggarth, who had an extra point blocked by that man, Matt Boateng. The reason we're in overtime in the first place. Boateng nearly got there again. And the field goal from 23 is good. And so Boise State.
There's a flag down, though.
There's a flag down.
Can't really see it. It's buried over here.
In the snow?
Yeah. You're going to have to tell us, Todd, whenever there's a flag.
I got you.
I can't imagine that Boise is continuing not to block the edge. It's unbelievable.
It's the strangest technique I've ever seen, Brian.
Well, they've had one blocked, one almost blocked. That one could have been blocked.
How do you not adjust?
Defense, that penalty is declined. The result of the play is the field goal is good.
Wow.
You think they would have learned their lesson. Hey, let's block 26 in white.
Boateng again. It's been Boateng all 3 times. That time he ran into the kicker. So here's the technique, and we're getting this rush from the outside. But Blakely clearly is being taught that he doesn't even have to worry about it. They just think that there's enough space out there, but clearly there's not, because Boateng just steps over the leg of Blakely 3 times and almost gets another block. But Fresno State gets the stop that they need. Now they know exactly what they need to do. They score a touchdown and they win the championship. Boise State defensively has been up to the challenge ever since the first quarter when they turned the football over. They have not given Fresno State any sniff of the end zone in this game.
First down and 10. McMarion hit as he throws. And maybe too much mustard on that pass for Ronnie Rivers. Curtis Weaver had the pressure.
Weaver has had a big-time game. The defensive end, just a redshirt sophomore, and he's been in the backfield consistently in the second half.
Second down and 10. Need a field goal to keep going. A touchdown wins the Mountain West Championship for Fresno State. From the 25. McMarion across the middle. Able to hit his tight end, Jared Rice. Little rumbles for extra yardage after the catch.
Big time, great play call there. Why wouldn't you go back to Jared Rice? He had a big time play at the end of regulation, breaking tackles, a physical tight end. This is just a slow screen in the middle. They haven't run a bunch of screens, Fresno State, in this game, and well timed. That's Ezekiel Noah, the linebacker that comes up a little slow.
Rice picked up 16 on the play, 5 catches, 44 yards for him. And Noah will be helped off. Go right back to that spot. First down and goal.
Boy, what a game this has been. I mean, it's
been a championship game.
It hasn't been pretty, but these have been body blows. It's been physical, hard hitting. We've had an unbelievable performance from Alexander Madison. Yes. Another 200 yards after running for 200 last week against Utah State. And Fresno State on the precipice of exercising demons here. 0 for 10 on the blue turf. And Jeff Tedford, that last missing piece in that turnaround from that 1-11 season a year ago.
And the Mountain West can be very proud of their 2 combatants in this championship game. First down and goal. Touchdown wins it for the Bulldogs. McMarion on the ground to Ronnie Rivers. Rivers going to be close. He's down to they're going to mark him down at about the 2-yard line. Tyson Maeva may get another tackle.
And even now, Fresno State wants to go fast. They want to keep this personnel grouping of Boise State defensively on the field because they feel they have the advantage running the football.
A yard away from ending the Boise State nightmare on the blue for the Bulldogs. Rivers pushing, can't get there. Second and third effort. He's right back to the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and goal.
I came into this game thinking that in the red zone area and inside the 10-yard line that Marcus McMaryion was going to have to use his feet to score. They don't have a pounding back like Boise State does in Madison. They've got a little scat back in Ronnie Rivers. I think McMaryion needs to keep the ball.
3rd down and goal.
Brian Harson's all the way down inside the 5-yard line. I think he's going to call a timeout.
Bring Dante Bull in as an extra blocker. And you hear the whistles. Grimm trying to carry the ball, but you could clearly hear the whistles. And a timeout has been taken.
Yeah, Todd, I think Harsin wanted to see the formation.
Yeah, I'm on the 5-yard line. He just came crossing my face. Where's he going? He went running right at him. He must not have liked what he saw offensively in the formation.
Well, Fresno State went up tempo and kept the personnel for Boise State defensively on the field. And then I think Harsin smartly just wanted to see the formation. And it's almost like icing a kicker to see at the last minute call that timeout.
And he waited. I watched him. He was looking right into the ref's ear and just waiting for the very last second so they could collect all the information.
So they're inside the 1. I wonder, does Jeff Tedford know right now on a 4th and goal if they're going for the touchdown to win the game? Does he know in his head right now? We were talking about calling 2 plays in a row.
Right.
Or are they going to play it safe and kick nothing safe about a field goal here? Maybe they don't have to worry about that on 3rd down and goal.
Well, that last play call told you something. They don't feel comfortable running between the tackles. It was a jet sweep.
Shift Rivers. McMaryion options to Rivers. Trying to turn the corner. He'll get there. Paydert into the orange to win on the blue. Ronnie Rivers and Fresno State in overtime. And check out this celebration by the visitors.
Wow, what a game. What a game. At the very end, you had to get some kind of doubt in the mind of Boise State and those defenders. It turned out to be the option with McMaryion, and that forced the Boise State defenders to free up Rivers on the outside, and he had the speed to the edge to finish. And finally, the demons are exercised, and Jeff Tedford completes that turnaround, and they're Mountain West champions here in Boise.
Good for Fresno State, thinking about the guys like Pat Hill and all those players, all the struggles, the rivalry here, and Hill bringing his team and coming close. And Boise State's always had that upper edge over Fresno State. And the Bulldogs victorious and in overtime. Here's Todd McShay.
Coach, you got the wrong coach.
All right, we're working on Todd's microphone issue. Guess we'll never know if Jeff Tedford would have gone for it on 4th down.
Well, he didn't have to worry about that because he had the right play call. Just the element of the option gives a little bit of space. That's the first time that they've run the option tonight. And Boise State caught a little bit off guard. All Rivers needed was that little bit of the edge. He gets it, and he finishes.
You're right, that's the first option all night. That's amazing. And Boise State's usually a team with all the tricks. Here's Todd.
Coach, putting on your hat now. Tell us about what was going through your mind on that last series there.
Well, it's a hard-fought game, and everybody's battling. Defense played really well. Tough call down the stretch there, and Ronnie did a great job of getting it in the end zone.
For a program that came where it was and the struggles, and to bring them success and then win this game in a place where they've been 0-10 on this blue turf, how's it feel for you and knowing that you're seniors as well?
Well, for our players, it's awesome. It really is. You know, it's our players been through a lot. This is a really tough place to play and to win. My hat's off to the Boise State program and Coach Harsin. They're an excellent team, very well coached, but I'm really proud of our kids. The way we were resilient tonight, just kept fighting back in a hard-fought game.
Your quarterback, Marcus McMaryion, the story that he has and where he's come from and the opportunity you've given him, what does it say about the way he battled tonight?
Well, he's a competitor, you know, and he's endeared himself to our team, to our community. He's meant a lot to this program, but he'd be the first one to tell you this is about team. And they all did a great job. They really did. They worked so hard, and I'm really proud of them. And the staff. The staff did a phenomenal job of getting these guys prepared.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Steve?
Todd, thanks to those 28 members of the senior class that played on that one-win team to have consecutive double-digit victories. No longer afraid of the big bad blue as Fresno State gets it done. They win the Mountain West Championship by 3 in overtime. All right, I'll see you in a few weeks someplace. Come join me.
That was fun.
Come join me on SportsCenter. I'll be there on Tuesday night. Here is SportsCenter right now with Kenny Mayne and Michael Eaves. Fellas.